It's almost official. We got some music playing.
Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow.
I know
If it
there's a way
isn't,
to cue all this up
you're
perfectly
fucked.
and get it all like
Totally
automated.
and absolutely.
I'll stump
In time, my brothers. In time. We don't have to get it all perfect just yet.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can, sir.
Doing a dope DJ manual fade out right now.
Nice.
That's not
Let
an
me know
application.
the live.
That's me live on the volume slider. What y'all know about that?
The crossfader. It's amazing.
Old school. So how are you good fellas doing this
Oh, we're
lovely
on?
evening? Oh yeah.
I was
we're
gonna.
on.
I was, okay. Hold on. Let me get my fake voice ready. Hey, you are tuned in to the Cult of the Dangerous Gentleman, the known universe's #1 think tank, starring the Guru, Doobie Howser, and Yakub Cavemanstein. Take it away.
Oh, see now that's gonna have to get clipped out and played at the beginning of every episode right after the song. That's our official introduction right now.
The #1 think tank in the currently known universe.
Trump would want us
Prove
on
me
his
wrong.
team for the next presidential promotion.
Yeah, I think Trump would see value in what we're doing. I think Donald Trump would see value in what we're doing. On the other hand, I think Sleepy Joe might want to get us canceled.
I don't know. I think he'd get on here and accuse us of not being black and Jewy enough. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, he'd want to leech off of our presentation. He would absolutely see our power to influence.
Right.
He
I
would
have
go
to
with
agree
us.
with that one.
So
He would make
cancel
us put.
and then take over the show. Is what you're saying?
Well, I think what he would do is he'd make us put the controversial episodes behind a paywall and make sure they never pop up in Google search results. And then he would have us do like a special episode where we interview him and we let his team get the final say on the editing.
Wow.
Yeah, Trump would be. Yeah, I've the big fans of the show. Think you have a lot of great ideas. I like where everything's going. And he would kiss our ass, but I don't think we would ever hear back from him. Like I think he would come in and be like, the blacks love me. I just talked to two of them. They're very dangerous gentlemen.
It'll be a pre-recorded tape.
Mostly gentlemen.
A pre-recorded tape over the phone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just a pre-recorded tape that he just sends out to everybody. He doesn't mean it. He doesn't know his coworkers and.
Oh yeah, it would be a blank space filled in. Like I enjoyed my conversation with the dangerous gentleman.
I think, especially, if I could pretend to be gay, which I don't think would be very hard for me. I think it would up our tokenability in the marketplace for people to want to capitalize on using us for their political ends. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blacks and Jews and gays in one place.
Yeah, that's rough. That seems like it could be a problem. We need to figure out what these guys are talking about. If it's anything noteworthy, we're going to have to start fucking them over a little bit. Yeah, I think maybe they don't take us seriously because there's so much absurdity mining, and they know that once people get a hold of it, they'll probably at least attempt to eat us alive or hang us using our own words and ideas. But it doesn't work like that. When you have these kind of ideas with this type of foundation, it's not so easy to catch people up as you think it might be. Speaking of which, like I spoke to the initiate recently, and he
Lovely.
was reminding us of how ironclad this whole shit is because of that reason. Is because he said that he learned a skill from us to be able to talk to people who he outright disagrees with to really figure things out. And I don't think that was that's something that a lot of people do right at the front. They just want to debate to prove you wrong. They're not really trying to listen, especially if they know you identify with some shit that they don't dig. They're not really, really trying to listen. They're just trying to trip you up. But yeah, it don't work like that over here. Our shit is 7 levels deep. This is 5-dimensional chess. You have no chance. So,
But also keep in mind, I mean, God forbid we finally get to the point where we could do a live call-in show. This is hours and hours and hours of shadow boxing. We haven't actually had any opponents, and the level of thoughtfulness and the degree of excellence in the argumentation that's just it's what is it, Mount Krakatoa? It's a volcano. It's Yellowstone. It's just waiting. But we haven't really had an opportunity to engage and debate people that have come after us.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I'm salivating for that moment. And it'll be polite. It doesn't have to be nasty, but just especially the absurdity of a lot of the hard line stances people are taking on things and not focus on anything substantive, right? I would relish that. It's like, okay, go ahead, come at us. And even that, the story you just told, this is evidence that this is the Lord's work.
Right.
No, everybody didn't get together. I'm sure if we picked apart enough of the deep-seated beliefs in all four of us, the Black Messiah has been MIA, but once we get that first $1 million, he will be a full-time employee.
Absolutely.
I strive to make that happen. I need more of that level 3 dread knowledge. I need to know what the Messiah knows.
Right.
But we wouldn't all agree with each other or the initiative. But in that context, here's a dude that engaged people that doesn't agree with. There's an amicable love and respect there. An amicable engagement between all of us, and personal growth, like measurable, viewable. Hey, this is where I was. I engaged you guys, and you know what? Now, I still find people that I deeply disagree with, but I have a more openness to engage them and understand them.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a win. That's a win. That's the only thing that works is individuals doing that work and getting to that place and improving their own mental health and their own personal development, and then being of better use to the people around them that they love. Like, that's how it works. Just going in and drawing lines in the sand and calling everybody that disagrees with you a Klansman on a dinosaur racist bigot is not cutting it. It's not really changing people's minds or improving our collective consciousness or our disposition here on earth and how we engage each other, So I listen, me personally, I think one of them interdimensional non-pedophile brain slugs is coming through as predicted by Alex Jones. And they'll be like, look, not only are you the most incredible think tank in the known universe, like, you're the most incredible think tank in all the universes. And so we're reaching out to make contact with you because we need some of this absurdity mining. We've got some issues over on, I don't know, Omicron Perseon 15, and we need some help.
Listen, I think that's a good piece to add into the actual universe itself. This may be the greatest think tank in all the universes, and that's why it's a place of convergence for all these crazy ass events. All the things we've created in this world. That's why it makes sense that everything happens there. I think that's a great idea. Because I completely agree, and I tell people all the time whenever I talk about this, I say, I know a two-brain scientist that will debate you on this all day, but the work has led me to a place where I just refuse to engage anybody about anything if I don't want to, because I don't see any real value in it. That's just the stage I'm at, and I think it's awesome to have that type of balance, because I talk cash shit too. I know I do, but I'm not willing to explain, break down, edify anything to anybody in real time. So if anybody asks me about it, they're like, yeah, but you said this thing, and I'll just be like, yeah, that's fine for me though. If you don't like it, just don't do it. That's always going to be my conclusion. You said Alan Watts, and Alan Watts is like, yep, that's whatever conclusion you come to. If you hear me say something, and your experience has led you to a different conclusion about that same thing, feel free to accept your own conclusion, because I'm not going to clash those two things against each other for you. I just won't do it. But like I said, I know somebody who's willing to absolutely tussle with you over some of these topics if you want to come on the show. So I won't be the one doing the actual tussling, but we'll invite you to the platform so you can have as much fun as you want. So there is somebody here willing.
It's the only thing I've ever been good at. Please, just let me argue with people.
We've had some opposition. People have wanted to come on, but they always find reasons not to. And I think it's because after they start to listen to their own thoughts, like they feel something in the moment when they hear us talking, and it bothers them, it moves them a certain way, it rubs them the wrong way. They're like, these motherfuckers. And then I want to come on the show. I'm gonna teach you a thing or two. And they're like, okay, next day, next Tuesday, whatever the day is gonna be. And on that approaching day, they start to echo their own points and their own ideas in their head. And then they're like, you know what, this might not be as good of an idea as I thought it was. And
Because
then they all, yeah,
we've already whispered in their mind. So
right,
because you've already let it sit there for a week.
right,
You start seeing there's truth into what the words are being said,
yeah.
and you just realize you can't argue with this.
The seed has been
And
planted.
but I also think too that they doubt the true nature and spirit of this work that we're doing. And I think they think that we're going to be vicious and cruel and it's just all about owning them, and the person that actually gave us the most, I guess, like, I don't want to say, where there was the most friction, like clearly we all don't agree. I would have to say was the initiate out of the people that we've had on.
Yeah.
And it was very respectful. And I forget the other gentleman, the dude that had he had just recovered from like back surgery. I forget his screen name that he had. El Presidente. And we disagreed a little bit on the January 6th thing. Like, I don't think it's special. And it was nothing that escalated. Like, fuck you. And even if there would have been more, if I disagree about that, I just think people think because of the nature of the internet that's what we're doing. And it's like, look, we're not really catering to any of these movements in particular, which would definitely be better for the bottom line. Whenever you're grifting and catering to what's already out there, right? The manosphere, or, I see girls getting money like on YouTube now, like they're just, and maybe that's what they really think, but they've seen that, hey, there's an opening. Like, hey, women aren't the way that they should be. So let me tell you how traditional women should be, and and they're making bank. Like if you just get like a one-trick pony and you pimp the algorithm like that, you can make, we haven't capitalized on that, right? And so I just think we're the most open-minded, the most reasonable.
We're ready to, though.
Well, listen, we can have another channel for that. I don't want to compromise the integrity of what we're doing, but I'm definitely down to have like a pseudonym that pimps it to help finance the good work. I'm fine with that.
Of course.
But
there's clip channels. That's the same thing.
Yeah, but I just, and I think that they believe because that's the nature of the internet, I want to own you. I want to embarrass you. I'm going to crush you in the argument. That's how we're going to be. But in the very few opportunities we've had to engage in, in people in circumstances where there would be disagreement, I think we've lived up to our title. We've been nothing but gentlemen. We are absolutely respectful gentlemen that are articulate and precise. And also, I can't speak for everybody, but I would assume you both would take the same position. I'm willing to change my mind if I'm interested. If I have a conclusion that's incorrect, I'm not married to the conclusion. I don't want to just be right. Being right is not or winning is not more important to me than being correct.
Growth is
you know what I'm saying?
Is the goal we're trying to reach here.
Yeah. So
I come in here high and without a care in the world, and I'm willing to change.
I will say this though, I'm not willing to move off the position that we live in a simulation. Everything else we can discuss, we can have some laughs about and shit like that. But if you try to tell me that this is base reality and not some type of thought experiment in a grander conceptual universe, I don't want to hear it. But everything else we can talk about.
And even then, like, what would be the value in trying to prove that one way or the other?
Exactly.
It'll be tough. It'll be tough because you're bringing in other things. You're bringing in but it all comes into the same ideology. I don't know.
But what I'm saying for all pragmatic decision making for any venture that you would undertake, whether this is or isn't a simulation, it would fundamentally change nothing. Like, hey, do you want to go get margaritas at Chili's? Yeah. Is this going to be a different yes or no based on whether it's a simulation or not? Like, what I'm saying? Even the simulation, we have to pay the Adobe payment on time. You know what I'm saying? We have to pay the taxes on the compound, the property taxes, whether it's a simulation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I couldn't imagine a scenario where somebody would have to engage you in that argument for anything productive.
Hey, look, the
Like
Matrix proved to us that some of us want to go back into the simulation, so it doesn't matter.
Right, exactly. And that's the point. That's my whole point, is that there's a whole lot of things, honestly, that I keep in that folder. There are things that's just not worth the debate. There's things that's not worth explaining. It's not worth taking on the time or the labor to go back and forth with somebody about. There's a lot of that kind of shit.
And the things we want to solve, nobody wants to solve.
Well, they do. I think people do want them solved, but they just get hung up on what the underlying politics of it is. Where's the money going to come from? Like those kind. And where's the money going to come from? We've already agreed that's a valid question. But if that's enough to stop you from doing things that would objectively help people, I think that's kind of fucked up. And that's a bad reason to get hung up on how to fix a problem. But especially when there's resources available. We know there's resources. It's about the allocation of resources. That's the issue.
It's also about having a vision and a character. Like, you can have all the money at your disposal, but if there isn't any desire or skill set with the momentum in that direction, none of that money is going to do anything effectual in the world anyway.
Right.
So I would never we don't have the money, so we can't do it. That shouldn't be the thing that stops you. You know, like, look, the money will come. The simulation will find a way to provide.
Right. And I'm speaking especially about like infrastructural shit. Like, we already know that if people wanted to move, decimal points around in a computer, there's a lot of shit that could be solved really quickly. But everybody, people are used to having their pockets lined a certain way. This has got to look good over here. That's got to look good over there. They got friends in high places that give them envelopes and shit. Like, allegedly, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things that block what we think would just be a smart move to make. Like, oh, let's just do that. But you can't. It has to be a financial incentive for most things. But that's just the way it is. That's why you got to be willing to do shit yourself, which is the whole point of everything that we're doing, is because you can't depend on any type of system or any group or anything like that to solve shit. It just has to be people who actually care about solving it. That's what, like you said, that's what it comes down to. People who really care about solving it, everything else will find its way to getting the problem fixed. But if people can, slide that shit to the end of the table and not worry about it, it might be a minute. Unless you figure you got to do something clever, like this is how you threaten the structure of the simulation. There's a guy who wanted to, like, we all know who Banksy is, right? You know Banksy, the famous graffiti guy. This dude wanted the potholes fixed in the city that he lived in. It was potholes everywhere. They wouldn't fix the potholes, but if you fucking spray paint a penis on a wall, they would send somebody out the next day to fucking spray over the penises. Just go clean that shit off or do whatever. They don't want penises up on the wall. So he started spray painting penises around potholes.
There you go.
Yeah, spray paint penis, and they would fix it. They would chip that shit off, and they would come and fix the pothole because they didn't want people seeing penises and offending the local population.
Is that what made like his legend so great? Like,
no, the guy. Oh, I said that to say that the guy who did that calls himself Wanksy because he's drawing wankers.
Oh, okay.
He's drawing wankers on the fucking around.
I didn't expect that answer.
So he calls himself Wanksy. So, but he got the potholes filled in though.
That's the Yakubian Review school of thought. That's how you do it. Right. You see how it works. You pimp the algorithm. There it goes. You coming out here for dicks. Only the fasciuses will bring you out here. Is that what the name of that Roman animal was? Was it the fascius? Is that what it's called?
Oh, wait. Oh, goodness. Now I got to Google something, right?
I've been looking online to get one of those. I'm going to redecorate my house with those. I want those. The winged triple penises. I think it was was it fascius? Facus? I don't know.
Phalluses?
Some Latin word.
The inside of your house?
It was a dick with wings, Doobie. You've never seen it?
I think we've discussed this before.
Oh yeah.
It's a big dick as the body, and it has wings on it, and it has two legs, and then it has a dick in the front and a dick for the tail.
The fascinus. The fascinus.
Yeah. Where we get the word fascinate, I would assume.
Yes. Yeah. Fascinus.
To be fascinated is to be dickmatized. We actually didn't need the word dickmatized. It already exists. The true meaning of fascinated.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry, fellas.
Isn't your reference to your private part like phallus or something? Or how you say
Yeah,
it?
phallus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, listen, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to show some
Those
fascinating.
Greeks, man, they sure did experimented.
Oh, these were the Romans. Let's give credit where credit is due.
You don't
They
think the
saw the
Greeks did
gay
it
shit the
too?
Greeks were doing, and they were like, "Hold my beer, B. Hold, hold my beer.
Bro,
We can
It's
get.
just
We can
it's
do
like the
way better."
story. It's like the story of Babylon, but it's like this is what happens if it like was a country. It didn't just get destroyed. Like everybody's fucking everybody.
bro, the fascinous. This is some of the wildest shit I've ever
That's
seen
great.
in my life, bro.
I love it. Oh, I did, look at the double header one. That one is very. That one is great.
If there was
Currently
anything
not staring at the
that's
screen
ever
right
been
now.
fascinating, it's a freaking penis with wings and a penis for a tail, a penis for a penis, and hind legs like a lion, just wilding out, flying around.
That's my favorite one.
He's like,
That
one of
that's
these is gonna fit
archetypical
you. One of these is gonna fit you. I don't care.
Do you think the artists or the sculpture back then was like they had to be joking when they made these things?
No, they was
Like
dead serious.
like like they just
Yeah.
ran with it. Like he made it, but like they just ran with it to the extreme.
These things ward off evil, bro.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like,
yeah,
They
they
ward
do.
off evil, bro.
can you imagine the guy just sculpted a dick with wigs? It's like, yeah, man, that it wears off evil.
Imagine the guy who carved it into stone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Imagine him.
Like,
He carved
can
it
you
into
just
the top.
can you go like New York and like sit in the street and just have like a stone of these? Somebody's,
With a little chisel.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Oh, it wars off evil, man. It just
Oh, you
wars
mean
off.
like can you be the fastest man in New York? You just got a cart. All you
Just
saw
a
was
cart.
a cart.
Go in the
Oh
subway. You know
shit.
what I'm
Just winged
saying?
penises.
That's my favorite thing. You got those people that do like those little handmade crosses with the yarn.
And
You
fold
got
little
people that'll
roses.
do those,
Yeah.
yeah, the little street art. Like I'll paint you these galaxies, with spray
Oh
cans and
my
shit.
god.
I need somebody doing fastnesses, like just a homeless, rough looking dude who's just making them and selling
Right
them
next to the bodega. You
from
know what I mean?
Walmart.
Wars
Oh,
off evil,
dude.
guys. Wars off
It
evil.
wards off evil, officer. The fastest man. Look at this one, bro. They wildin'. They wildin'. That's not really the fastest. That's some other kind of party. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a different kind of thing going on now.
Yeah, but there's a lot of this classic, really old looking. Somebody took this seriously.
But just look at the craftsmanship.
Yeah, this ain't no joke. They
What I'm
wasn't
saying,
joking.
like, dude, I mean, they really put their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into just making like a veiny, throbbing, thick cock with wings. Like it wasn't, childish or really rudimentary looking. Like this is a classically trained artisan chiseling out a penis out of marble.
Wow,
It's fine art.
it's amazing. The English word fascinate ultimately derives from the Latin fascinum and related verb fascinare, to use the power of the fascinus, that is, to practice magic, to enchant or to bewitch. This is
With
it, right
your
here.
This, listen. We need to visit or reinvent or reestablish. I forget. I don't know if he's still alive. You remember Jordan Maxwell, and he would give all those lectures about
Oh, yeah,
what
yeah.
a bank is and what all of the etymology of all of these words
And straw
and how
man
it
and
relates like legal precedent. Yeah. And so I think it'd be really good to kind of do something, pun intended, in that vein, and just kind of I don't think people know about dick magic. Dick magic is coded into our language.
yeah, I
It's
feel like there
there.
should be some kind of divine penis temple worshiping place, the fascinatum, something like some kind of Latin word like that. And there's when you get down in there, all it has is a big ass fascinum, a fascinus, a big golden fascinus downstairs, animatronic. Hopefully, you can flap the wings and shit. And that's amazing. This thing is absolutely amazing, dude. The fact that this was a part of somebody's real culture.
Dude, what was a joke in Superbad? Remember in Superbad, the kid, like, he just couldn't stop drawing dicks?
Right,
Like,
right.
right. So like this is the high level fine art, artisanal, ancient culture version of that.
Bro, look
Like
at this.
it's just this childish.
This is on
but it's
somebody's Etsy page, bro.
oh shit.
They're selling them right now.
Send me that link. This is the dude.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
so
sold out.
I said some shit as a joke. There's literally a homeless man weaving these on Etsy.
Right.
Well, that looks like a woman's hand. Maybe it's a woman.
That's who. Yeah, you got it. You can only hold it if you're a woman. You have to have a woman put it on you.
Would you trust a woman to draw that? To sculpt the?
No, she can't
I've done
sculpt
so
it.
much woman bashing. I can't do it.
No, she
Go
can't
for
sculpt it. I don't think you can sculpt it. No.
Sculpt it with your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on corporate. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Only men sculpt.
Yeah, only men sculpt. Yeah, women. Yeah, why would you expect a woman to be able to sculpt something? It's too,
Disavow. I also disavow whoever said, "Well, what if they were making gingerbread cookies in that shape? Then they could do it, but not if it was being chiseled out of marble." I also disavow that. You're not relegated just to baking. That's wrong. Oh, what is that? What is that lurching? What is that creature? That's some strange
everywhere, bro.
Dude, dread pipes. He's got like 4 dreads that are
polyphallic
penis,
mercury.
and they're holding things.
This is becoming hentai now.
This is polyphallic mercury. This is what it's called. Mercury polyphallic from Pompeii. Look at this shit, bro. This guy's got a fucking wolf for a cock. This is amazing. Dudes are crazy, bro. Dudes are crazy. He's like, yeah, my pipe's like a wolf. I can't handle it.
And not only it's a wolf, right? It's a wolf. It's not a wolf like outwardly, like going to attack the world. It's a wolf after him,
right?
You know what I mean? Like it's making eye contact. It's ferocious.
It's like
dude, that looks like Zeppelin. That looks like the Hindenburg dick.
It is. That's exactly what the Hindenburg was modeled after. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Look at this shit. Look, he's got a fucking, what's that thing called? The plum? To find the, in a shape like a pipe, bro. A fucking phallic pendulum. See, I've never seen one of these. There's gotta be. I know women love the crystal pendulums. I haven't seen a phallic pendulum. I think there might be a market for that, bro. I hate to have to Google phallic pendulum.
It's all right. Everybody's search history is fucked after being on this show. It's the things we've had to research.
You might as well create art with those words.
Phallic.
Oh. Yeah, can we go to that website and see about the fascius?
I want to put fascinus. Put
fascinus. Yeah, fascinus attacking a Medusa. I don't know. Like make it epic.
Gosh.
Greek mythology.
Out, bro. What is this?
That looks like a mold to make more of them.
At the Witchcraft Museum. Gosh, dude. Yeah, dude. People are obsessed with body parts, especially the genitals. This is a lot of genital jewelry here. It's got bells on it. Why has it got bells on the pipes, bro? Oh, look at the pubes, the golden pubes.
Roses. They look like roses.
Rose pubes. There you go. See? Artistic. What the hell is it? A Greco-Roman gold and coral phallic pendant. So you just wear that on your shirt. That's a bro-oach.
Oh, that's great. We need to bring this back. We need to make this a part of culture. See, I would feel dirty.
Bro. He's mad happy laying on
He's
the wood.
He's way too happy.
I don't know if I can be that ecstatic about it.
That's a Japanese festival. That's something that they do over there. I forgot what it's called though.
I don't know if this makes me a bad person, but like I wouldn't really want to touch it. Even though I know it's fake and it's wood, it would still feel. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bad
strokes. Folks.
I don't know, but that thing is just hilarious.
He definitely caught something because he looked like he laid there for a long time.
Kanamari Matsu. Oh, bro, you wildin', cousin.
Nah, B. Can't do it.
Listen,
I have a problem. I don't eat phallic foods, period. I cut up my hot dogs. I blend my bananas into smoothies. Again, don't
Hot
know if it
dogs are
makes
a
me a bad
problem
person.
just in and
I
of themselves.
I cut up my bananas, but I eat hot dogs at home by
They are.
myself around
I get the organic all beef though. I get them organic. It's higher quality. I mean, it's still meat mushed into a plastic tube.
What's the
Right.
one? What's the one? I can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a bigot. The one that the Jews make. I forgot the name
The
it's called.
juice. They're referred to as the juice.
No,
Like, what are you talking about?
like the hot dog brand. What's the? You get it at
Kosher.
Sam's Club. You get it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kosher.
masa?
You get it in Sam's Club, but it's kosher. Yeah, it's kosher.
Are you talking about meat or bread?
Hot dog.
Oh, you talking
Kosher
about the
hot
Hebrew
dogs.
National ones?
Oh, Hebrew
Yeah,
national.
those Hebrew
National
Nationals.
hot dogs,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Those.
they used to market them too, like we answer to a higher power.
Yeah, I remember that commercial.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, how sacred can this shit really be? I don't want anybody outraged on TV anymore. Like,
That just has
I'm not
something to
arguing.
do with like how you kill it, right? How you kill the animal.
Yeah, it's more peaceful. It's a halal, same thing.
Halal.
Well,
Same thing.
but a lot of that is bogus. Just like with anything where there's the profit motive, like you're really slowing down your production being kind to
But
they
it's a nicer way to tell yourself that the meat
I
died
know, but
happily.
the PETA people got to me because that's what I always thought too. Like if I went to a kosher butcher, I know my animals are being treated with respect. But they did documentaries on it, and they're like, yeah, a lot of that's bullshit too. Like they'll tell you that they're doing it right, but they're really not. Like you go there, there's the same crazy ass leather faced,
So you just have to be there.
asthma.
You just have to
I
be
mean,
there. That's the
the
only
only
way.
way you know for sure is if you take it off of here yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you just
That's
gotta
the
be.
only way you know.
You gotta go to like a little place in Haiti and go to your grandmother's backyard, and she has to like slice a goat in the neck and
That's
make
it, man.
human
It's just
human cries suddenly appears in the ear. But it's
like
the goat.
I subscribe to these services, when I'll prepare the invoice because I'll shout them out now. I do the Misfits Market, and they supposedly, have relationships with smaller farmers. It's a little more expensive than probably what you pay for in the grocery store, but it's less expensive for what you would pay for that same quality product, if that makes sense, right? If you were going to do organic, type stuff, it's going to cost more at a store to get there. So you're paying more than what you'd pay in a grocery store, but less for that same product that you buy in the grocery store. And supposedly they're conscious of it. They want to make, good relationships with these farmers, pay them what's reasonable, and make sure that the food has no GMOs and blah blah blah. And they do the same thing with meat too. I think there's one. I use Butcher Box. I think there's another one, Yoink. But more and more, there is kind of a movement and a consciousness to kind of direct market food that's not poison, and that's done in a more respectful and sustainable way. But it takes people willing to pay a little bit more and
Yeah,
go
man.
go directly to get it, man.
It's always gonna be like that. But I want to be the guy that they pay. That's the goal.
Well, listen, I'll invoice them. Just we need, free subscriptions. They need to send both of you gentlemen boxes every month.
Oh yeah.
And we
Oh yeah.
that with that,
I'll
we can just start out small. You don't need to write us huge checks. We'll shout you out. Just send us the good meat that isn't poisoned.
throw it back over here. I make a YouTube video with a little beat behind it of us cooking some fresh meat.
Oh, was that the fastness? You rendered it?
Fastness fighting Medusa. I don't know if it picked up fastness, maybe a little bit, but I just
A little bit.
Yeah, some Medusa energy, but it's definitely a lot of swirly tentacle type stuff. So it was like, I don't know what you're trying to do here, buddy, but I'm gonna give you a chance to back out.
I'm gonna let you ride it out because I didn't get.
Yeah, it gave me a shot to walk away. It's like, this is your last chance, buddy. Yeah, the fastness is the realest, bro. It's the realest. It's such a great talisman to reintroduce to the world. I think that's one thing that we're missing in the world is penis jewelry.
Hip hop needs to make it happen.
Yeah,
Listen,
hip hop needs to make it happen. Hip hop needs to
let,
spearhead this movement.
what's the dude's name that did the Kanye made the beat for him for that song where he basically was like in prison dancing with the prisoners naked in the showers.
Oh yeah, freaking
Little Nas
Nas.
X.
Yeah.
Yo, let's connect Little Nas X and Jacob the
Oh.
Jeweler and get this big ass fastness iced out piece
Yep.
made.
He'll wear
He
it.
would
He'll wear it.
absolutely
He'll definitely wear it, bro. And it'll
10%
change hip hop forever.
but
I think he should wear it. I think he absolutely should. I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna start forwarding. I'm gonna send him a Instagram DM every day of the Fasteness webpage, the
no, you know
Wikipedia
what we need
page.
to do? We need to make a website and put out headlines of shit we just want to see to make it happen. Like we need to make an article. Jacob the Jeweler announces partnership with Little Nas X for Fasteness iced out piece or some shit. And I'll just write a fake article for it. And we do a little Photoshop thing of the people involved, right? And we just stitch it. It's clearly fake, but we just put it out there for things that could plausibly happen. And just put the story out there and get it circulated until it happens.
See, that's like one step closer than one step further than like the Onion or Babylon B. Instead of just making like, and let's make some shit. Maybe that's why they went out of business. The shit started getting too close to what their parody titles were. The world got too close to it, and nobody could tell the difference between what was the Onion article and what was the real world.
But isn't that the story of man? Like we predict our downfall, anyways.
Yeah, life imitating art, art imitating life. The lines become blurred. You don't know what's what. You know, you make a
I don't
tragic
know if
play.
we ever engineered parody though. This might be unprecedented, like, and so quickly.
Yeah,
Like we're talking within a span of 10 years, and then sometimes within 2 or 3 years. Parody. This is parody. This is a joke. No, this is actually what's happening.
dude. Yeah, this is the wild. Now, so this is how you know when things are changing fast, right? My lady would watch. She started watching this Netflix show called The Sandman, and she keeps saying throughout the show, she's like, I don't know if it's just me. I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound like a. She didn't say dinosaur bigot, but that's what she was trying to say.
That's what she meant. That's what
She
she
meant
meant.
dinosaur bigot. She's like, I don't want to sound weird, but everybody in this show is gay. And I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean everybody's gay? So I start watching the show with her. And every notable character in the show is definitely gay, first of all. Second of all, the only straight people that I saw in the show, straight cis white males, the first two were skinheads who attempted to rape a young black girl. And I'm not saying that this means anything. I'm not saying that this is politics or
You're
programming.
just reporting.
I'm just reporting what I saw in the show. And later on in this, what I'm pretty sure was the same episode, was another cis white male who caught his black grandson trying to run away from home, and he caught the kid, and he's like super mean. He's like, "Get in the car. You're going back with me." And the kid goes to go get in the car, and the old man walks around the back of the car and opens the trunk. And he's like, "You riding in the trunk?" Like, so he's like this big evil great granddad, and he's making a Negro baby ride in the trunk. So those are the only cis hetero people that were in the show so far.
The agenda used to be so much more subtle though.
Yeah, like the hero is a white male, he's straight, no funny business going on, and that was, nobody saw that as programming because it was so subtle. So we had like generations and generations of white heroes who would just swing in and help everybody out, fix everything. We had like Tarzan. Negroes been living in the jungle for 1 billion years, can't talk to the animals. Tarzan gets to the jungle, he can talk to the animals immediately. He can he can Africa.
An amazing thing.
Yeah, he
An
can
amazing
Africa
feat.
better than all the Africans. Like none of them can swing, from the jungle better than all of them. None of them swing from the vines like he do. They can't do none of that shit. Or Avatar.
It
White man comes to your planet.
took a lost white boy
Yeah.
from a rich white family.
But to be fair,
accidentally land on the land.
listen, make Tarzan black and see how much backlash you get. Change nothing about that character except that he's black. You have a PR nightmare on your hands.
We need to write. We need to write
Right.
this. We need to write the script.
Black Tarzan.
Like
Why
Black
does it feel
Tarzan.
so dirty now?
Oh.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I would even go so far as somebody was playing 6-dimensional chess back in the 30s. Like, listen, eventually they're going to want to whitewash all of our characters and make all of them black. Let's dare them to take this. Like, this white savior, this white boy comes into Africa and starts being more African than all the Africans. Oh, well, I guess the only way to right this wrong is make Tarzan black. They just rub their hands together diabolically. Like, I dare you. I fucking dare you.
That does sound like a 1930s plot.
It's
Sure
unfilmable.
does.
Maybe they always wanted to put a black guy in it, but it was like, this is not the vehicle
Like,
for a Negro.
back then, they're like, nah, I can't do it. It's too far.
He was trying to break barriers. Like, I got a perfect show for a black lead. And they're like, nah, son.
Nah, this ain't gonna work. Even for the 30s, this ain't gonna go.
Shit.
First
go
of all,
far.
he
No,
didn't want a
wait.
black lead. Second of all, he
Right.
First of all, again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we might have underestimated 1930s racism because I think that's how the conversation went. Like, no, we got this great character, a black lead. Get the fuck out of here. Like, call up Rock Hudson. We're going to make him Tarzan.
Yo, Black Tarzan is disgusting.
It's indefensible.
I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, holy fuck, this is unfilmable, right? It cannot be done. It cannot be done, especially in the terms, like, cause the whole thing about Tarzan is he gets integrated. Oh, that's even worse. Okay, when I'm thinking about Black Tarzan, the first thing I think is he's just already from Africa, right? He's just a Negro, one of the other Negroes, and he's just better than everybody else, right? But that's boring. That's boring. The whole thing that makes Tarzan, the whole Greystoke story, is he's like a regular, civilized guy. He gets lost. He gets raised by the animals and all that fancy shit. That would be even worse, to have a young black child who was born into a rich family get lost in the jungle and become Tarzan.
He reverts. Right. It's so bad. Oh, yeah. It's so bad.
It's unfilmable. Black Tarzan cannot exist. It can't. It can't.
Dude, it's bad. What I mean about the programming is my wife watches. The only reason I watch movies is because of my wife. I don't watch movies. So I saw A Few Good Men for the first time, like a couple weeks ago. And while I'm watching it, like, I point out to my wife, I'm like, you see what this is, right? Like, the whole movie, like, nah, I don't get it. I'm like, here's this little kind of like smarmy, like shit talking, like tiny little beta male dude, and he's taking on like this tough military colonel who's got bodies. Like, he's like this tough, like, and like even the arguments he's making, like, yo, I keep us safe. Like, I got to do shit while you just hang around doing nothing. And like all of the values that people are saying now, like, you know, they're injecting it into everything and blah, blah, blah. I guess it's true. I mean, there's a lot of evidence of that. But like this movie, I think it was from the 90s. I'm like, all of those same themes are there, but it's just more subtle. It's way more subtle. And like Demi Moore kind of pushes him to kind of make the epic scene in the movie. Like, he won't do it. You know, he's being calculated and pragmatic, but he's not really being principled. So the woman comes along and the woman tells him, like, this is what you got to do. This is the right thing to do. You have to stand on it. And basically puts him in a position where he could get imprisoned or court-martialed or whatever. And he does it, and I guess he's the hero because he takes out the dude that's the big, tough alpha male, like that traditional, powerful, tough kind of dude. And he's taken out by this little smarmy, quick-witted, guy that wins because of his mind, and he kind of tricks him or baits him. And this is at the behest of the woman, right? So all of those same empowerment themes of who's the villain, who's the hero, all of that's there, but it's not, let's put the black baby in the trunk and then have skinheads rape the black girl. Like, it's not that on the nose. That's why I think, like, people say, oh well, this is brand new, and I don't think so. I think Hollywood, those have always kind of been the stories, at least in the last 50 years. It's always been about kind of undermining the traditional things. Like when we talked about rebooting Archie Bunker, All in the Family or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that wasn't a show trying to big him up. That was a show that was trying to inject those same values. Like he's the asshole and Meathead is the hero, even though he doesn't have a job and he sponges off of them. But he's espousing the right ideals. We're supposed to identify and cheer him on, and we're supposed to be mad at Archie Bunker. So all of that's been it. Just now, like, no one's even cares like if the art is good or if the message is subtle. It's just like, to be accepted, we have to be as in your face as possible about the message. And so it's like, even if I didn't necessarily agree with the message, I would watch your movie if it was good. But whenever you make it like that over the top, it's like, this is unwatchable. Did you Google Black Tarzan?
Yeah, and I was, some of these weird images.
Shit.
This is this big one right here that we're looking at is actually Capadonna's one of his latest album covers.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
Now we're gonna get sued too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get sued for art of.
That was really his album cover.
This is real. This is really.
He could have hired like.
He was one of my favorites. Get this dude an art director to help him out.
That's what I'm saying. Like you could have got somebody better than that.
That came from his Twitter. He tweeted that. This is that's his stuff, bro.
Whoever's doing his artwork must be like a friend,
not a good friend.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, come on.
A friend loves him.
Not a friend that actually cares about him.
You need to fire him.
But he okayed it though. He saw this and was like, "Yo, that's all right. Let's go with that."
And he called it Black Tarzan.
Yeah.
He needs more real friends.
See, he didn't really think it through like we did.
Yeah,
no.
He would have had to come to the conclusion that you can't do that.
What's with the correlation of a lion and a bear? Like and then you have the eagle out of nowhere.
I don't know, but see, he's got a lion, a bear, and an eagle, and then he has a deer.
Plus, he has half a face of a lion. So, which animal do you really want to be?
Right? Why is all of those things to try to kill the deer? Why is the deer on the cover with you? He's Black Tarzan, but he's wearing wallabies in the park up against.
Which I'm fine with the outfit. Outfit is amazing, but
Tarzan,
the random animals in the Tarzan.
Yeah, but do you really want to see Kappa in a loincloth? Like, come on. This was the right.
Do that. Yeah. Thank you. Well, I appreciate the Wally, son.
That's all biblical images for empire. That's what that is. The lion, the bear, the eagle.
Yeah, America and Russia. And the lion in Africa, the dragon is China. That's like all of you motherfuckers. That's basically what they're saying.
The book of Revelations and the book of Daniel, the name for like world global empires. Those are all represented by those animals. The deer, I don't know.
Yeah, the deer is just food.
Yeah, there was some 5% of shit thought into that. It's like, yeah, man, it's like you're the real lion, you're the real bear, you're the beast.
Yeah, actually,
you're all of this God. God. Yeah.
You're the lion. You're supposed to kill your girlfriend's children so you can get her pregnant again.
And then have that bitch go out there and bring you food.
Right.
Don't you know if a man could flip himself inside out, God, he would just fall out from the shit that he would see? You're the creator of all this.
And I've dated many of the sisters, and I never understood the whole lion pictures with love and each other, when it's basically saying I could stay at home and you go do the work. I just gotta protect the bedroom.
Like she said, just protect the bedroom, not even the whole house. I just gotta protect the bedroom. That's hilarious. Some people broke in the house, how they go like, as long as they don't come in the bedroom.
But the kids
that's their ass.
But the kids are in the living room. They're not my kids anyway. I was gonna have to do it.
I was about to kill these motherfuckers. Like I was just getting ready to kill them.
Charges.
God, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. But you know, listen, we've already talked about how often this type of shit happens. I guess it's very difficult to send a modern woman back into estrus. So people are out here doing what they feel like they got to do, and I feel like it's almost like a just a structure of mating these days because it happens so efficiently and so often. People just murking somebody's kids, guy goes to jail, and then the woman's pregnant a week later anyway. I mean, I can't confirm that last part, but she's free to go do whatever she wants to do, and now she don't even have no kids to attempt to keep her in line. She's completely free now. And not saying the trauma doesn't count. Maybe she's traumatized. That's a possibility.
There is a lot of stories like that. Like maybe there is something primal and biological that humans have to be conscious of to suppress. Because I just never understood, like, even if it's not your kid, just kids are adorable, even if they're screaming and they're a pain in the ass. I just could never understood, and it happens all the time. But not only it happens a lot. Like dudes watching the kids, shacks up with a chick, she got a kid, he's watching it, and the kid ends up getting beaten to death. It's crazy.
He can't handle that. He already got issues, and the problem is not the problem, but one of the main issues is the woman is looking for, like, you know, the boyfriend, husband, father figure. She doesn't know, like, how deep this man has problems. He shouldn't be watching kids.
The same things that make him sexually attractive to her are the same things that make him liable to fucking hurt her children.
Not if he was hiding a lot of shit. You know, men are stupid, bro. They'll lie about everything. By the time she realizes it, there's a lot of reasons.
Humans lie.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, and I always tell, especially women, like, I'd be like, don't. If you have kids, don't bring no man to your house. Like, you have to respect.
How difficult
it's ridiculous.
Can you imagine how difficult it is you got somebody whose the only job you have is to guard the bank safe. Do you know how hard it is to talk your way past that guy and get into the bank safe?
Ugh.
It's his only job. So anytime you walk up to him like, "Hey, how you doing today, Jim?" He's looking at you like you're not getting in the safe, bitch. Like, I know why you're over here. That's the only reason anybody ever comes over here to talk to me. If a chick comes over there, she starts fucking showing her cleavage and pushing her boobs together. Is he like, maybe she really likes me, or is he like, this bitch is trying to get in the vault? That's a woman's only job, is to guard her vagina and not get impregnated by somebody who you shouldn't get impregnated by.
Completely agree.
How do you let somebody talk you out of your box? A terrible candidate. What can he say that you're not like, this motherfucker just wants some pussy? Just not like Frank is like, this.
Not everybody's at that level.
But that's your only job, though. Like, I'm not saying you can't fool Frank at nothing else. I'm just saying it's going to be really difficult for you to get in the vault.
Yes, I do have a lot of empathy for the vulnerability of women. Like, there's other dimensions to it, like that.
There's a lot of factors.
Atheism is Unstoppable did one of his videos on this story out of Las Vegas, where there was a chick who was clearly a hooker, and her boyfriend, who was probably her pimp, like, told this whole story of, you know, the baby's father came and got him. We've never seen him. And meanwhile, it's the boyfriend that, you know, killed the baby. Beyond the vagina thing, like, it's also to protect her kids. Like, that's your job. Protect your vagina, protect the shit that may come out of your vagina. And that's what you're wired in your impulses to do. And, like, making it out in the world, once the family's broken up, once you're not, you know, the father of your children, a husband or whatever, you're just out there as a woman, especially a woman with kids, like, you're doubly vulnerable. So you want someone to be there for you and to protect you, and you'd like to think that the person that you're with is going to be that person. And I do think what you're saying is true. Like, there is a certain dynamic of, like, the sexuality and swagger and the things that I might be primally attracted to as a woman may backfire and put me and my child in danger. Like that's there, but I do kind of I empathize with that vulnerability of a woman of just, I need to be with somebody, I need somebody to protect me, and I just hope this dude isn't a piece of shit that's gonna fucking murder my child.
And this
Like
is a
that's a tough road to navigate.
this is a good segue to always remind people that we're here when you're ready to give up that life. And a couple months of the was it the vinegar oil bath?
Right.
Oh
Right.
no, it's more than a couple months. It's an 18-month program. It's a
And we will
briefing.
find you. We will find you that man that you've been seeking.
Yeah.
But you gotta, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying she will absolutely be rejuvenated in the divine waters.
Yes.
We have it's built into the system. We're not here to judge you.
You're gonna clean the house and pick some strawberries though too. I mean, you're not gonna just be on the compound for free. You're not taking care of you and your kids. You need to be productive. You can come, but if you're in that position, you probably don't have a lot of, skills that are gonna come, be of use. We want to help you and we want to aid you, but there is, and once the biodegradable hemp factory, hemp plastics is up and running, you can maybe get a job at the plant.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad. It has to be done.
You'll get your dome house and a not dangerous spouse. It'll all happen for you, But you got to put in the work, the self work, and the we need to survive work on the compound. And I don't know. I think that's a better. Yeah, I mean, you laugh at it like doing some shit around for to sustain yourself, and it seems like meaningless work or whatever. But I mean, I think that's better than being a hooker in Vegas with a deadly boyfriend. I mean, if you had to choose as a single mother, like I can live on the compound in my dome house, spend 18 months in the rejuvenating water, and then be marketed to a man who's not going to be dangerous and help around with the chores on the compound. I don't know. I think that's a better choice, but I'm sure that
who's gonna pipe her down and choke her the way she likes.
that's a great question.
I'm just saying we gotta address the obvious here because it's too. It's basically like a guy say. I know we're talking about on a larger level of just existing, not necessarily a relationship, but in the levels of existence, that's basically like saying, "I'm a nice guy. I'll treat you better." Like he's not gonna treat you like I would treat you. She's like, yeah, this guy wants to rub my feet and tell me I'm beautiful, but who's gonna fish hook me from behind? You know what I'm saying?
My mouth. Who's gonna slap me and spit in my mouth? I don't know.
She clearly has to go back. She's not ready yet.
So disrespectful. You're like, man, we have a dome house with your name on it. There's flowers planted out here. It's a food forest. You could go out and eat mulberries first thing in the morning. She's like, but who's gonna fish hook me?
That sissy wouldn't even bone me and spit in my mouth. He said I got 6 more months for the debriefing program.
Right.
Fuck this place. Y'all are gay.
Now we got we got bad reviews on YouTube. It's like, so I heard you tried to join their cult and you didn't like it. It's like, yeah, I was there 3 days and nobody tried to fuck me. So I left.
Right.
I took all my shit and left.
Horrible.
And you understand,
that's gonna be all the Yelp reviews.
I had no skills. I was so vulnerable. I was completely dependent on them, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and nobody tried to violate me. I was like, what kind of fucking cult is this?
Right.
That nobody's gonna try to take advantage of me sexually.
Gosh, you people sicken me. What are you all, gay?
That's gonna be the insult that just constantly coming out. But it's sad that that's where civilization is, and I hate to judge anybody's sexual proclivities because really my mindset towards it is as long as it's consensual and there's no deceit going on that would hurt anybody. I don't care what anybody does. I'm not going to judge the moral aspect of the specifics on how you get each other off. So I don't want to bash people who do like being slapped or beat around or spit, whatever. But I can't help but to think that those are the types of behaviors that might be tied to unresolved trauma or psychological damage. And I think if you go through the debriefing of the rejuvenating waters, the exotic salt. I think on the back end of it, if you've done the self work, I don't think that that's going to be the priority. You know what I mean? Like, I think that might be evidence of the damage. If the first thought once you're there and you have peace and freedom and safety for your child is, who's going to spit in my mouth and fish hook me? I think that might be evidence that, yeah, you really need to do the self work for this healing shit. I don't know that your priorities are straight. I don't
Right.
think you're thinking clearly.
Right. Yeah, you might want to examine why this is why that would be a deal breaker for you. With all the other things that are working in your favor in this space, and you've organized your deal breakers in a very interesting way.
You know, they've raised enough funds that the hemp plastic factory is just implemented a 401k matching program. Like, this is a really good opportunity for you.
I don't know.
Nope.
She's like, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I was there for 3 days and nobody tried it.
It's not the money. She was making more money before.
Right. It's not the. It's nothing. It's nothing but the ability to feel degraded whenever you want to. It's your right.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing to confront. When people have to start examining why they want things that are destructive for them, what is it?
Oh
Where
man.
does that impulse come from? Why am I wired like that? Was I always wired like that? You know, it kind of makes me understand why people go to therapy. Like, I don't want to bash or endorse it because, I don't think it's for everybody. Most of the people that I know that are healthy don't go to therapists. Like, they in their inner circle are their own therapists. Like, there are important things to examine and look at, but I don't know necessarily that everybody is comfortable or willing to kind of do it on their own or with somebody that they trust. And it's like, yeah, if you're not willing to confront any of that, maybe it would help, if a religious leader or a therapist or somebody helps you go through that. But yeah, you definitely got to do that, and that shit is painful, man. The things that it reveals to you about yourself and things unresolved shit you haven't dealt with, like, it's hard for people just to be like, yo, this isn't normal. Like, what I've been through isn't normal. The way I think about things now isn't normal. That's just nobody wants to really conclude that. Everybody wants to be or to think of themselves or their situation as normal, even if it's undeniably and incredibly dysfunctional.
It's a fact. People will protect the worst shit. They'll protect their traumas. They'll protect all the shit that's destroying them if you try to take it away from them. It has to be their idea for the most part. I think that's probably what therapy is based on too. That's why they don't just be like, "Yo, you're fucked up, bro. Get your shit together." Like, they got to make you think it was your idea. Like, why do you think that is? Because I'm fucked up, and that's what their whole practice is based on. Is getting you to realize it. Because if it's your idea and you fixed it, then it belongs to you. But if somebody else says, "Yo, you need to stop drinking," like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna drink me a little bit more right now. That's just what your brain wants to do. From the time you're a child, from the time you're a child, if your parents said you can have as many marshmallows as you want, but I'm keeping the carrots. Don't you touch those fucking carrots. Don't you eat no grapes, no carrots, no apples. You can have as many chocolate chip cookies as you want. The fruit would be the taboo. That would be the thing that you
Yeah.
would want to gravitate towards. You'd be sneaking strawberries out of the fridge in the middle of the night. It's just the way the brain works for some reason. When something is forbidden
Damn.
to you,
I wish I thought of that when my kids were younger. I would have used that.
what I've learned
It's
work
not too
is
late to brainwash them.
one of the best things I know that worked with our kid. That's all we ever gave them. We just gave them mad fruit. That's all they knew existed. When they started to see
I give
fancy
them
colored
fruit
shit,
and stuff.
they got
just stuff with
surprised. They were surprised. They'd go with us to the store and start to notice shit. Be like, "Oh, what's that?" Like, no, we don't eat that. That shit is garbage. From the beginning, it was always like that. But Pavlovian shit works really good with kids. For a long time, we used to play reggae music on the weekends when it was time to clean up the house. Just get everybody up cleaning, wiping shit off, and playing reggae music. And then after a while, after a few years, you could just put the reggae music on and people start cleaning up.
Just start cleaning the house.
Start cleaning the house. You don't have to say nothing.
they're in their cleaning the house mode now. So definitely gonna play some scientists on reggae dub and shit. I play scientists in the car Like if I have like a 6 hour trip, I'll play scientist like the whole way through because they'll fall asleep quick. You know.
Yeah, that was the move, yo. That's the power move. Playing the reggae on the weekends, bro. Everybody knows what's up. They're like, oh, yeah, time to get busy. Time to fucking clean up. Let's get to it. Shit works, man. Kids are like that. But I mean, the
I know
taboo,
if
you see
you
the
make them
taboos.
watch British cartoons, they'll have the accent
Yeah, oh yeah,
and the dialect.
they'll definitely have the accent, and I feel like they make more intelligent jokes too.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
about that. Mine's still working on his, but
I think they
he's
make more
definitely
intelligent
he
jokes.
definitely does have an interest with war. Like I don't understand his interest. He just all he wants to talk about is Greek and Romans, and he knows like every single one of them. But like I think it's because I got him into like British shit at a very early age.
Dude, I wanna we gotta get into a little bit of thug gossip eventually. I know been putting it off, and it's kind of difficult sometimes when you want to get into some thug gossip because it sizzles out. It fizzles out so quickly. You see
It definitely
something,
does, and
it's
so much things
hilarious.
happen so quick.
Right. It's hilarious. It's something to talk about. And then before you know it, by the time we get around to it, nobody cares. And we definitely don't care anymore. There
Oh
might
yeah.
still be a few pennies on the table to scrape off if you care enough, but we just don't care enough to get to it. But this, I want y'all to see something here, and I'm gonna make sure that we show our watchers also. But
I'm just trying to think of what the gossip. There's so much right now. There's so much. What did you hone in on?
well, this is not necessarily thug gossip, so to
Oh,
speak, but it is some thug shit that's going on in the world that I thought people would get a kick out of, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on things that's going on in the world with this type of shit. So, this is a guy who has pulled up to the parking lot or the establishment or whatever where some what the youngins call ops, where his ops live at, and he's just outside yelling at these motherfuckers and talking shit to them and screaming in the street, and it just talk about trauma and shit that's going on in people's heads. It's like, what would make you project yourself onto the world like this when there's no immediate threat, nobody's in your face, you could get in your car and leave at any time, but you choose instead to stand out in the street like Alonzo at the end, like the fucking Denzel Washington at the end of Training Day, yelling about being a gorilla and I'm the biggest, baddest motherfucker you ever seen. Just I don't know. Can you see this here? You see it?
Yes, but
oh yeah.
before you play it, with all that you said, plus it was uploaded at worldstarhiphop.com. Go ahead and play it.
Right, of course, absolutely. So take that with a grain of salt. But this is where you find this shit. This is the world is compiling all of the fuckery for you in one place.
The most destructive cultural force for the black community since BEP.
True.
World Star Hip Hop.
No debate at
The
all.
only difference is that they compile it all, and you would have had to individually find all this shit. But the problem is that it's actually happening in the world. The secondary problem is that people are recording it and collating all the data for us to fucking binge watch on our phones and shit. That's horrible. But just peep your man. Check your mans in them out. Hey, oh, here we go.
Hey, y'all must not know. I'm 21. This bitch is legal. If somebody
No
touch
audio.
me, they die
Can't hear it?
right here on my
No, it doesn't send the audio through.
I want them to hear it. I want them to hear it.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta.
But that's
see
okay.
if
We
I
could
can
always go
hear
back
it.
and overlay
Can I
it.
predict? Can I predict somebody getting shot at some point?
Hold on. Let me try
I
it one
think
more
that's a
time.
given. Oh yeah,
Nope, there
audio's
goes the
on.
audio. There goes the audio.
For my daughter, I wish I could
Here we go.
Hey, y'all must not know. I'm 21. This bitch is legal. If somebody touch me, they die right here on my daughter. I want them to hear me. I want them to hear me. I'm banging like a gorilla from outside. I'm trying to hear this thing. Hurry, catch this
Look. He got the burner in his hand. Look, he lighting him up.
I'm hit.
Mm.
Call 911. I'm hit.
Yo,
Oh, before we keep going on, and this is why I have no
Who is
desire
this caveman?
to live to live this lifestyle. of a Yakubian caveman. like this is horrible.
Yo,
I'm shot. I'm shot. I'm shot.
I'm here. Going out. Yo, I thought you was a gorilla, B. Like he was just out there screaming at the top of his lungs.
A gorilla would have kept running full force, nonstop,
right,
even with the bullets.
He would killed everything moving. Yo, son, he had to burn. I don't know if you noticed, but after look, he's got the strap in his.
I feel like he shot himself. You notice when he grabbed his shot, he said he shot. I feel like he's
still busting at him. Like you can see, they still popping off at him, hitting the window and shit. I'm hit. He starts getting that guttural.
Oh my god!
I'm hit. Call 911. Like that shit hurt, don't it? But
this is the type of manhood that always confused me growing up as a black man in America. Like a lot of like that behavior was like considered. This is what you had to be.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on. Okay, so another one of course, on the same website, World Star, and I'm seeing a lot of this shit because people are doing reviews on all the content. They're getting their fucking money. They're chasing the bread. So they're looking at the stupidest shit in the world, and they're chasing the money. So there's another guy who worked at Wendy's, and a 67-year-old customer complained about the food at Wendy's. So the guy comes out from behind the counter, punches the 67-year-old man in the side of the head. The guy falls on the ground and dies. So now,
didn't somebody shoot at a Wendy's like not too long ago that turned himself in, or they caught or something like that?
That was somebody who shot a McDonald's worker in the head because their fries were cold.
Correct. Yeah, that one.
Fries were cold though.
Jeez.
In their defense,
the fries were cold.
And do you understand? So like now you're eating food that isn't really food. It's
right.
it's hastening your departure from the simulation. And not only are you paying for this death served up to you, you could probably get shot going there. I don't understand. I don't know why anybody would go and eat fast food at this point, but please continue.
It's not worth it anymore.
Yeah. So many inherent risks.
I don't know about McDonald's, but that Burger King flame broke. But I ate McDonald's the other day, man. It's like you're eating the paper that they wrap it with. It's horrible.
Look, man, get yourself some grade A, get some steak, put that shit in a food processor, make your own ground beef. That's what I started doing since my guy put me on. You're eating the DNA of 800 cows. I'm like, look, you can't just ground it all from the same cow. Like, nah, if it's 800 cows. But you can make your own ground beef.
No, but you can make your own. Like if you want to go deep, you just get a slice, and then you just grind it up your own. It's the same thing, isn't it?
You can do it at Publix. They used to do it anyway, where you can just do like a roast basically, and you can have them grind it for you. But it's like at that point, if I'm buying meat, I'd just rather just have the steak than the burger sometime. But I'm not eating 800 cows in one sitting anymore. I'm done with that. I'm done with
But it's
that.
tiny little pieces though.
But it's still 800. I can't do it.
This is on the caveman's behavior. This is what happens when black style meets white fragility.
Yes, it does. This is true.
And I don't mean it in the Robin DiAngelo whatever. This is when it's like, look, dude, you're not made for that. You haven't come to terms with the fact that you're not made for that. However, stylistically, you latched onto it as if it was a style. And there's some shit that's just cool. I would have preferred that he had wallabies on and was just soft-spoken. And you could drive away, giant caveman.
The wife beater though. The wife beater.
The wife, that was his first epic. That was his first step on the road to getting shot.
Can we rewind to his shoes? What shoes was he wearing? I have to see how close.
They only show him from the waist up in the whole video.
Yo,
I think there's a moment where you see his body. Can you just put the video back up? We got to do a
frame by frame.
Frame by frame. Yes.
Do the Zapruder film. Yeah, back and to the left. He just, because it's like, this is what I never got. Okay, black people do a whole bunch of shit that's just cooler. Not all over in general, black people. No, specifically in America. It's just cooler shit. And I get it. I get the impulse to steal cool shit. That's why we have Michael Rappaport. I get it. It's just cooler. It's cooler. I get it. But it's when you make that misstep to just say, okay, now I've gotta incorporate the casual violence. I'm seeing that as also a hallmark of the culture that I should stylistically appropriate as well. It's like, dude, you didn't have to go this far. You clearly were not made for this. And what he thought was going to happen is he was just going to put on the show, impress his black friend that was riding shotgun.
Had to be a girl. Had to be a girl in there.
There was definitely a chick in the car.
think so?
Had to be a female. Had to be. That's the only. That's the only time.
So okay, yeah, it was
the
okay,
black
that
friend.
makes even
The
more
black
sense.
friend would have been like, "Get back in the car and let's go."
I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, let's see what this caveman's gonna do. Go ahead.
I will say there are those two
You
who's
the
gonna sit there like,
realist.
"Oh yeah, you the realest, huh, son?
Right.
Go.
He knew. Listen, that's why I thought it was a friend, because he was like, look at this motherfucker. Let me go ahead and capture this shit on
That's
phone.
what I'm saying. If it was a
Get
black
my world
friend,
star
though,
hip-hop logo.
there'll be multiple black friends, and then you'll hear the background voice. This had to be a female the whole time.
If it was a black friend in the car, you would have heard them say, "This motherfucker gonna get shot."
Exactly.
This motherfucker about to get shot.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
There'll be some type of background noise. That's
He's
not
like, I told you his dumb ass was gonna
that
get shot.
nigga's dumb.
This nigga's stupid. Oh man.
That had to be like a 18-year-old high school chick.
And also, if it was a black, I feel like if it was a dude in a car, the idea of utility would have come into play, because the dude who was in the car would have been ready to drive off. But being that there was a woman in the car, she didn't have any utility being a woman. So she was in the passenger seat. Son could have got laid out, and she wouldn't even have got away, because she would have had to crawl into the other side to drive off. So she was just sitting there recording it like a doofus. But hey, look.
Yeah, you're probably right. But yeah, that was just some ridiculously embarrassing, cringy, just lame ass stupidity.
There's so much of
There is so much, but I love the way that you set it up, because it is something that's so needless. You drove over to them.
Right.
This is where you've already fucked up, and you didn't go over there really to get busy, because there would have been no talking. Like if you were there to really do, but you basically went over there to be a target. I'm gonna be loud. I'm not gonna be behind any cover. I'm just gonna be here while you're behind cover at your house, and let's see how this plays out. I'm gonna make a show of force to impress my girlfriend, and I doubt that you'll do anything. Little did he know, somebody on the other end of those insults was ready to get busy. Yeah, where does that dude go? Like, he couldn't have been more than 30.
No,
he was an overweight, unkempt gentleman. I don't know and I don't want to say anybody's beyond redemption, but you're now on World Star, starting some shit you couldn't handle, right? Walking around with who knows if the gun was legal or not. It was definitely being brandished in an illegal way. You can't just go out and brandish a pistol. So what does that dude do now?
Depends what he probably used this to his advantage.
No, that shit was illegal.
Pretty
no
sure
matter how you slice it, that shit's illegal. He would have went to jail. He was just standing out there yelling, talking shit with the strap in his hand. You going to jail, big. Sorry. No matter. I don't care if it's an open carry state. You got it out in your hand and you didn't kill nobody. Yeah, you're going to jail.
You are going to jail, and what the fuck are you saying in your job interview? If he doesn't already have a mixtape out and a team behind him, he's fucking doomed. I don't know what that dude's life looks like from here on out.
Yeah. If he can't spin this into an album release party, you're fucked. You fucked. And you had to already have everything planned before you did this. But the good thing about being who he is, I don't want to make too many assumptions about who he is, but looking at him and seeing what I could see from the video, there's a grand possibility that within the next 2 or 3 years, this guy could be working at his uncle's day trading firm. Just totally turn his life around. He could be a completely different guy.
Dude, okay, I'm looking at the quality of the car. I'm looking at his hair. I'm not trying to. This
Outside with
just
his wife
where,
beater. Come on, man.
just where he was. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking he's not connected in that way. I got a feeling at best he's got an uncle that owns a landscaping company.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Like,
Okay.
he might get to be on the weed eater for 8 hours a day. That might be his. I don't know. I could be
Yeah, you
wrong.
probably. Yeah, you
I
might
could.
be right. You might be. I might have been giving him a little bit too much leeway, but yeah, he could probably get a landscaping job, and put all this behind him. If he shaves some of that beard off, because he's looking a little burly. You know what I'm saying? Shave some of that beard. Hopefully, his gunshot wasn't at a place that's gonna incapacitate you for too long, and he can just get his shit together. He could drop the Negro vernacular, and just get on with his life. He could be a totally different person. He could be a total.
Yeah,
And this is a perfect
wasn't
time to
ready for.
pivot.
Yes, if that's not a come to the crossroads moment, I don't know what is. Like getting shot for being an asshole. If that's not like, maybe I should examine my choices.
And I want to upgrade getting shot to almost being murdered for being an asshole, because whoever that was popping off at son. They had to fire 10, 8, 9, 10 shots. They was lighting up. Even as he was pulling off, shots was hitting his window, and I think it's just because of the angle they were hitting the window. It was just like shattering the glass and not going directly through the car because of the angle he was pulling off at. You could tell they were sort of glancing the window, but whoever was busting at him was really trying to give it to him. I don't think they was trying to scare him.
That's why you don't pull up to the ops block, because sometimes they have the blicky and it gets sticky.
Oh yeah,
You know,
shit definitely got sticky. I want to count. I almost want to count the shots.
and as a card carrying wigger myself and growing up in the age of wiggerdom, I don't necessarily have too many gripes about it as a thing, but I just I don't understand. Like Malcolm X is an option too. Like how come like there's an intellectual pathway to wiggerdom too, right? You don't have to be like you could be the dude who's like, hey man, I got some new books. I cop these new books. Like there's another approach, but it
Yeah,
seems
when you trying to roll the next joint, he's like, "Look, brother, if you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything."
like
You
you
one of
could
those
be.
guys.
And listen, and it's annoying and cringy and embarrassing, but it's not dangerous. It's just a better choice.
Yeah.
It's a better choice. You could take some of the vernacular, you can have a little bit of the swagger, and you could be a self-righteous douche. But I just think it's a better pathway and it's more helpful. But it just seems like the majority of people who go that route are like, nah, man, I'm just Ice Cube's my favorite rapper. I've never been to Compton, but I feel a kinship with it. It's time to get busy. And now it just
Exciting.
Atlanta has replaced Compton as the bright and guiding North Star for Wiggum thug behavior. And he was, he listened to a little bit too much. I don't know, Jeezy or fucking Two Chains, whoever's popular now. I don't know what he did, but
You can't blame Riggerdom for Atlanta. That's a deep Florida thing.
no, 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 no. I mean, in the same way that when people were like, trying to be thugged out, and a dude, and it's like, I don't know. None of this makes sense. Like we were on the same basketball team in fifth grade, and I just don't remember this behavior. It was like it was whatever Eazy-E was doing. Like Eazy-E, like that was like the North. Okay, well, I'm gonna wear my fitted cap, and I'm gonna wear a Raiders jersey, and I'm gonna okay, I guess that's who you are now. Cool, I get it. Like I mean it is that I'm not blaming Atlanta for it, but I'm saying what like NWA was for the early '90s trajectory for that path for cave people. I think Atlanta is now. Like that's the thing.
I got you.
Whoever's young, whatever in front of their name, young this, young that, and that's the thing, and that's who that dude was. And that's what that dude thought he was doing. And in his mind, he was completely justified to just go over there. And they were probably just in there eating a sandwich or playing Xbox, like not bothering anybody. Whatever shit they did,
Minding
You
their
felt
I'm
it.
not
business.
fucking with you then. Exactly. I only have respect for violence done in desperation and for self-defense, either to protect yourself or to protect somebody else. That kind of shit, I don't care what happens to you at that point.
Fuck him.
You, yeah,
Completely agree. Completely
if
agree.
you roll up on somebody's house like that, you just get what you get. I don't feel any kind of bad for you.
Nah, yeah, you gotta get what you gotta get because, I think he got off super easy. He probably wasn't much of a real threat, even though he had the burner. He just don't seem like at all the type of person who would do anything to anybody. Because I mean, if you got the burner and you out there yelling like that, people start popping off at you, and you don't even shoot back. I gotta think you're not that dangerous. You stupid, but I don't
He's a
think you're that
gorilla.
dangerous.
He's a gorilla. He proclaimed it.
He's a fucking orangutan, is what he is. he's
No, he's a baboon.
yeah, he's a bare ass baboon out here showing off and got shot. I'm hit. I'm hit. You ain't in
Showing
the
your bright.
military. You ain't even talk about I'm hit like you a soldier. Like, no, they almost killed me. I'm fucking stupid. Take me to the hospital. Fucking clown, bro. I love the way he was talking though. I give him that part. He had the beginning part down. Like the talking part, the talking shit part where you make everybody scared. That part I feel like he practiced a lot. He didn't practice he wrote a lot of checks, but he hasn't cashed a lot of them. He had the check writing part down. He was talking good shit. If you just hear that audio, you'd be like, damn, this must be some kind of kingpin bully of the block. Like, now 10 seconds later, he got
Dude,
shot and ran off.
it was very convincing.
It was.
When he showed up into the car with those long flowing Fabio locks, I was completely. I'm like, this is a white dude. I was shocked.
He's like,
I was
come
shocked. I didn't see that
outside.
coming.
I'm a gorilla. Really? Okay. Let's see what kind of caliber of bullets you can deal with, Mr. Gorilla. He's like, none,
You know,
none at all. I'm sorry.
He said, my fill is one. I'm good.
Okay. I
You-
counted the
you-
bullets, by the way. They shot 14 shots at this guy.
Jesus, dude. You espoused some very wise words very early on in this venture where you were like, listen, dude, I'm all for it. Expand, let destructive culture be assimilated by as many cultures that want it. Whoever wants it, take it, run with it.
Yeah.
Please. Reddit, listen, you can have it.
It's not cultural appropriation. You can have it with my blessing. Please, anybody who feels attracted to it and you want to exploit Negro culture, sag your pants, wear metal teeth in your mouth, any type of metal you want, not just gold, whatever you want. Put aluminum in there, put some steel in there, whatever you want. Just put metal in your mouth, sag your pants, play your music real loud where it can definitely disturb the people around you. Whenever you are confronted by police or authority of any kind, immediately start cursing and threatening those motherfuckers. And
Right? Go be a paper shooting range target.
yeah,
Right in front of the op.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be dressed like the people that they print on the front of the paper shooting targets.
In fact, that should be your tattoo. You should take your shirt off and there should be concentric circles with
Just all over your body with point rings and shit.
right with the point values. Like, just do it. That's a hard ass tattoo.
Yeah, fuck it. Just go for it, bro. I think they should. I think more people need to see that it's not, it may be attractive aesthetically to you, but when you actually have to live it and experience it and see what the side effects are, not even side effects, just the effects of what these behaviors do, because you can't carry out these behaviors but not be that person. So it may be at first you see people sagging their pants and talking a certain way in rap videos and in gangster movies and shit. So maybe at first you and your friends, y'all meet up at the mall and you sag your pants and you start talking funny, and then sooner or later You buy your food at the counter. When the lady gives you your change, you say thanks, bitch. Just 'cause it's like you just living it up a little bit. Put a little extra sauce on it, and before you know it, you're a fucking menace to society, and you're destroying your entire environment. There's no way to play that out and carry on those behaviors without becoming an actual destructive parasitic force in your environment. You can't. You don't get to just sag your pants on the weekends and it be funny. This is gonna become part of your character. Your mom's gonna tell you, "All right, that's enough Xbox for the night, honey." You're gonna tell her to suck your dick. It's just gonna get real. It's just gonna get real. You're gonna challenge your dad to a boxing match. All kinds of bad ideas, bro. So I think
before you know it,
take as much as you want.
You're at the food court and you're choking the gentleman behind the counter because the sesame chicken was cold.
Right.
It's coming.
Right. My General Tso's chicken was cold, so I hopped over the counter and got stabbed 11 times by the Asian guy. I got ox poppied at the mall, bro.
Yeah, that's
the second guy that got stabbed by the Asian. Did I send you that one?
Nah, there's another dude that got stabbed.
Yeah, another guy tried to rob.
Ox popping is now a verb. That's
real.
a thing now.
Yeah,
So you know that.
Get ox poppied. If you fuck around, especially, and it doesn't say, no Americans have stabbed anybody yet behind the counter. No, this is
Oh wait, I
thing.
think there was one. There was one in Vegas. It was like at a Vegas smoke shop.
Two thieves.
Yeah, bro. He
And
lit
that
son up.
dude, he stabbed him
hard.
Dude, he had, and then the dude was like, "I'm sorry, can you please call an ambulance?" Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like
shut
they
up, bitch.
went, dude, when they went in there to rob him, oh, dude, you gotta. I don't know if Doobie's seen that one. We might.
I saw it. It was like the nicest guy you should have never robbed. Like he was like, just go ahead and take that, and then like he flipped it over. It was like, oh, you're gonna be an asshole now? I just told you to take it, and then he like lumps over the thing and he stabs him like very like kung fu like.
Yeah, and make no mistake, like the knife move is a move of cruelty.
Oh yeah.
Like the most compassionate shit you could do is shoot somebody.
Yes.
It's quick.
Look
it's
at that.
not
Look at that. Look at that.
personal.
Look at
Right. A knife.
Look at that.
You gotta really let
Look at
the
that.
rage fuel you.
That's the instance like inside of him like a killer. Cause like a gun, you could close your eyes and shoot a gun.
Yo, you see how
But,
he
like,
drugged that body
the
while he
flesh
was holding a knife? That's not his
stab
first
that.
rodeo, bro.
That is not. That man has been in an underground knife fight.
He's been
No,
in
no.
shit, bro.
Clearly.
If you talk to him long enough, he's gonna let his parted out the tiger line slip out and reveal him for who he is.
That man clearly has been in some underground kung fu action shit.
He's fresh off the Kumite.
Bro, he's definitely. There's got to be a YouTube video
Fresh
of him
off
just
the
like
Kumite, bro.
the way he stabbed. I saw that he went for the back, did the hip, went back for the back, drug him nicely to the door, casually walked away.
And I love how dude says I'm dead too.
Can I just get the... Alright, take the money in it. I keep the coins. I need the coins. Bro, okay.
You see, but they deserved it.
Yeah.
They deserved it. He said, "Take the money. I need the coins." He was like, "I understand. You have to rob me."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for it. I have none.
None, dude.
Bro.
No. He said, "At least leave the coins. The coins will be a nuisance to this robbery."
They might have showed. They should have just showed up and said, "Look, we're gorillas." It's ignorant.
Yo, we are gorillas, bro. Give us everything. He was like, my knife is named everything, and I'm gonna fucking give it to you.
The guy thought he was like this nice guy that's not gonna do that. That's why he jumped over it.
He said,
He deserved every stabbing, every single.
"Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead."
Yeah.
And I mean, this is not funny that he had to feel.
It's funny.
It's tough to watch.
It's funny.
It's
It's
not funny
all.
that he had to feel that. But
It's
we don't-
very funny. It's
no,
very
no,
funny.
No epicaricacy here.
It's
No
very funny.
Schadenfreude.
I have no shame. Don't
But-
care. It was all funny. He chose. Listen, The man jumped over the counter.
His suffering isn't funny. I'll give you that. On the
It's
level,
funny to me.
I think
okay,
what's funny
It's the
I
icing on the cake.
to me. What's funny is his ability to instantly solve the equation of how stupid this was. Like just right now, as the knife entered my body, and I think, "Oh, I'm dead." Now, why did I do this?
He snitched from the eighth stabbing. He's like, it was my friend's idea.
Hell
Like,
yeah,
sir. I'm
so sorry.
sir.
I'm so sorry. Like,
bro, listen. All you can think to yourself is he's still stabbing me. That's a fucked up thought to process. I'm still being stabbed. Bro, that sucks. You get stabbed once, you learned your lesson. I'm pretty sure.
Listen,
if
he
you would have
jumped
poked
over
him once,
he crossed the line. He jumped over that counter. He's lucky he didn't have a shotgun.
And the thing is too is as it goes on, and you'll hear him like moaning shit and as a person that's been stabbed before, you don't really feel it once you're stabbed. Like it's because especially if it's a sharp blade is going in and out, like, oh, okay. And then once you start leaking and the panic sets in, like that dude is in a fucked up situation.
oh yeah,
He's in a really fucked up situation because I guarantee you some of those wounds are squirting. Like, and he can't put his hand over all of them at once. Like that dude is losing blood, a massive amount.
Yo,
quickly.
son had to struggle to get the knife out of him the last time. Like he had to wiggle it to get it out the last time he poked him. So like this dude was really like he wasn't just giving him no flesh wounds. He was digging in this motherfucker.
Shout out to the homie though. He kept going. He left after his friend got stabbed.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Shout out to him.
He was gone before his friend got stabbed.
Shit.
He was gone before he got stabbed. He was gone as soon as when the guy decided to hop the counter, the other dude was already out of the store.
He was out and he did not turn around to check what happened. He was out of there.
I'll give him that much.
Kevin's dead, bro.
Yeah, he's dead. He said it. He said it right. You can hear him say it right on the
Niggas
film.
die every day, B.
Yeah, especially when you hop on the counter and the fucking guy behind the cash register is a fucking Yakuza boss. He fucking stabs your ass 8
Fresh
times.
out the tournament, bro. Fresh out.
Yeah, right out of the Kumite.
That dude was an Asian dude?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he was a white dude.
No, that's
okay.
what I was saying. No Americans have done this. This is like some immigrant behavior.
Roof Korean
this
stuff.
is right. This is like, do you know what the fuck we had to do to get here? Do you have any idea how our countries work?
Yeah, I'll just kill you, bro. I'll kill you. The law is on my side of here. If I wanted to fucking fight for resources, I could have stayed wherever I was at. I came here, I opened a nice little smoke shop so you can get high and shit.
Right.
You can hop the counter and steal from me, motherfucker? I'll gut you like a pig.
That's like, and I mean, that's almost as bad as like, I'm going to rob the factory that makes formula for orphan babies. Like, that's what I'm going to go rob. Like, what more of a peace creating venture is owning a smoke shop? We want to give the world means to get high. I'm going to turn a profit, but this is the service that I'm going to render into the community. I'm going to be a place where you can get all of your get high paraphernalia. That's what and you're coming here to rob me. Like, this is in such violation of the cultural norms that should be championed here.
Yeah, he's a murderer. I'm sorry. He's a professional killer. There's no way. The way he stabbed that dude, he grabbed him up, controlled him with one arm, stabbed him with the other arm, and then dragged the body. Wow, you know how klutzy and fucking awkward that has to be?
Those are go-go 13 moves that man did.
For real. Dragging the body. You dragging the body, Hitman style, Agent 47. Dragging the body and still walking. You're not tripping over yourself. Then he threw him on the ground. And dude said, "Please don't let me die, sir." He said, "Shut up."
Like, he had no worry. Like, if he didn't even like look up. Like, oh, the friend is gone. Like, he stabbed the man, dragged him, walked back to the counter. Like,
he didn't look panicked or fatigued or shocked at all. You're right. That dude kept a calm demeanor. He didn't, like you said, he didn't even trip or stumble. It was just, it almost looked choreographed.
Like, there was no pause with the stabbing. Like, to stab somebody with a knife, like, there was no pause. Like, it's just, as soon as he jumped over the counter.
Not
Nah,
until
he lit him
he
up, bro.
dragged them over to the part where he's traditionally accustomed to parting them out.
Yeah,
He's like, okay,
exactly.
I'm done
He's
stabbing them
probably got
now.
one of those basement door flop thing where you open it up and it's the underside, the basement of the store. You just pop it up and throw him down there. He just did that by instinct. Like, well, what happened
Yeah,
to the guy? I don't know. I called the cops.
I did my
listen,
part.
he drug him over to what he calls the dying bed. He's got like a little dog bed laying behind the counter. It's like, yeah, after I stab him, this is where I drag them, so they can spend their last couple of moments,
It's a beautiful place.
bleeding
You
out in
see
comfort.
all the weed, all the smokes, all this.
Yo,
It's a beautiful place to go out.
the news people come to his store and they're like, "Yeah, we see you put an altar here for the man who you killed." He's like, "Actually, no, that was there. That's always been there. That's why I dragged him to it and threw him in the fucking altar. It's always there. You fuck around in this store, this is where you finish off at, right here in the square. But it's nice down there. I got little candles and some LED lights and shit. It's gonna feel like a DMT trip. Trust me. You fuck
Yeah,
around.
this is kosher halal standards of butchering here. We
Yeah, we ain't
believe
playing.
in
They
respecting
ain't
the
playing
criminal.
with y'all out here no more. Stop trying to steal from store owners. They're not playing with y'all. They got edge weapons and they poking the fuck out of y'all, bro.
And they are clearly classically trained.
That's some
Ox
Krav
hockey.
Maga shit, yo. He didn't even stab that guy. He dispatched him. I don't even know if the dude died or not. I don't know what happened. I haven't heard anything about it. And that's the funny part. It's like the story is the fact that this guy is sick of your shit. It's not about the dude who tried to steal, whether or not he lived. Or we don't know if he's arrested. They don't know nothing. They're just like, yeah, hero guy poked the motherfucker for hopping over the counter. And that's the lesson right there. Stop trying to steal. I know the economy's fucked up and all that, but you don't want to be out here hopping over people's counters, bro.
But there is. It's not just all immigrants are the ox poppies for sure. They're ox poppy and popping people all over. But there was also a story of that dude that was 90 years old and he had a heart attack, I guess from the adrenaline. But he had to shoot some thieves. Like dudes walked in armed with guns to rob his store and he popped them. Did you see that one?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that one.
they got the footage too, and you can hear the dude running out like he shot me.
Oh, the guy
And
who
it
was screaming, he shot my arm off.
He had a heart
Yeah.
attack. The guy had a heart attack.
Yes, it was because he's 90 years old. That
That's
dude
a
is like
perfect
90
ending
is
for Ox
old
Pop.
and fragile.
That's a
I don't know if
perfect ending.
it is. We could definitely work that in there. I do think he survived, but he wasn't hurt. They didn't shoot him or anything. I just got to imagine it was just from the adrenaline.
It had to be. It had to be. His heart beating so fast.
Yeah, but he got that first shot off quick because they came in there with some big shit. That's not
Yes.
that's not something you come in there to
Hey,
rob.
shout
a
out to him,
convenience
though.
store with.
Shout out to him because he looked at those cameras and studied that shit. He had his shotgun ready. Don't matter what guns you have. Who shoots
Yo,
first?
quick and active. That was some gunslinger shit.
My dog said she shot my arm off, dipped off, bro. It was
Yeah, he let Son have it. As soon as he
Yeah.
walked in there, he popped off. But that sucks. Son went out like that though. A heart attack after he,
I think that's why I love like cowboy shit. That's like crazy men coming to rob a store and people shooting them back. I don't know. I have like this love for cowboy shit. It's a weird time to be in love with.
No,
Very lawless.
That shit is hardcore. Fucking Tombstone's one of my favorite movies. I'll be talking to my sons about it. And Red Dead Redemption is one of my favorite games. But it might be my favorite game I've ever played in my whole life, dude.
Did you play 2?
Yeah. So that's what I meant when I said Red Dead Redemption. I assumed everybody listening knew I meant Red Dead Redemption 2. That shit's a absolutely amazing game, bro. Everything about it. That era is super fascinating. Especially to specific types of dudes. That era is very fascinating. When you could somebody say some crazy shit to you, you could slap the shit out of them, take them out in the street and shoot them. And then they just drag the body away like, well, you lost that one. That's some hardcore
man. It's
shit.
a very, very fascinating time. Very.
Yeah, we watched a whole 15-minute video about Doc Holliday recently because we were talking about Tombstone, and because I think I watched a video about what really happened in that town and the whole OK Corral shootout and shit, and just now the fact that we know about it and happened 300-400 years ago, however long ago, the fact that we know about that and the details of it are so benign when you think of the shit that goes on in the world now. 3 or 4 guys got shot, a couple guys got killed in some shootout in the street. It's like that shit happens every Tuesday in Chicago. Like those numbers,
Yeah.
those fucking numbers of the OK Corral was like it wouldn't even make the news today. But after that, after I watched that video, a few days later, we just kind of continued because it's in the algorithm. So I would be scrolling, I'd see something like, oh, yo, put that on, and we watched a little joint about Doc Holliday. Yo,
But what's the difference? Like, what's the difference with like that time period and then what's going on today, Chicago? Like, why is it wrong to love the other, but like be fascinated about the other one?
My theory on this, I've spoken to people about it too before. My theory is just that America has advanced to the place where it can romanticize its historical violence and even romanticize the idea of violence projected onto current day and age with action movies and shit like that, because you've evolved to a place socially to where this is really not that much of a real threat for a majority of people. So you can tell stories about it. You can laugh about the criminals and shit like that. But there's a such thing as being like too soon. So if you make like, Chicago is, that shit's happening right now. It's not 400 years old. So you can, talk about some gangsters that lived back then. I don't even think it would be as attractive, to be honest. But that's
It
just
wouldn't,
me.
because
We're still talking about 80, 90 New York gangsters to this day.
But I think that the key difference, though, is especially with the Wild West, is it was a libertarian experiment. Like, human beings could make it whatever they want. Like, there was pretty much little oversight, and there wasn't enough resources for law and order to really keep things in check. So it's basically humans being like, look, you could be a piece of shit, rob trains, fuck people up for no reasons, or you could be motivated by honor and like, hey, if something happens, you just go out there and settle like men, and who can shoot each other the fastest. Like, there was an element of honor and vigilantism too. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just thuggery. Right. I would actually like Chicago better if people were just like, look, we just got to go and wipe out we got to wipe out the people that are just complete pieces of shit. Like, if there was a vigilante, honorable component to it.
Right. If there was a Wyatt Earp and Ability Kid,
yeah,
it can't just be all Butch fucking Cassidy robbing trains and shit like that. You gotta have some badass.
It's not balanced out.
Too. Right. and even then, I think once you evolve socially, you can get away with that kind of shit. But the fact that, and even like black culture itself is a culture within a culture. So to try to make a movie where you romanticize drug dealers and shit like that, it's like you haven't even currently solved that problem. Why are you making movies about these cool ass drug heroes and shit? It's kind of disrespectful to the people who still. But to make a movie romanticizing Billy the Kid robbing a train, like, right? Right now, what would be there's no real, are the descendants of the people who he robbed the train by, like, are they going to be offended? So it's a whole different context versus you could talk about shit that's happening in Chicago now, and the living relatives of the people who were involved with that could be like, yeah, just like they did with Paid in Full. There's people who felt a way about that movie being told and not being exact or being too close to home, or people who actually lived through it are still alive and get to watch that movie.
Yeah, and I think too, like, but it's not exclusive to black culture. Like, as far as like romanticizing the shit, like even with Bonnie and Clyde, they were like, yeah, but it was during the Depression, so it was okay. It's like, no, they were still murdering and robbing people. Like, why are you trying to justify it and romanticize them as heroes? But there was,
because the people treated them like movie stars every time they pulled into like towns and stuff.
But not just them. I think was it John Dillinger was another one.
Yeah, he was another one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. They made movies about him, and he was clearly like, there was no Robin Hood component to it. You know what I mean? Like, there are some of those things where there's a flawed anti-hero. They do something, they do things in a fucked up way, but there is, like you were saying, I forget who you mentioned, the Wyatt Earp. Yeah, he's killing people and he's doing it like outside of the scope of the law or whatever. There's the Wild West and shit, but it's somebody operating off some sort of a code. It's like, nah, these people were not operating. There's no redemptive qualities to them, to a John Dillinger or a Bonnie and Clyde, but still, these were people put on the screen and romanticized, and it was just, it's no different than It's no different than the shit going on now. So
Yeah, peep
can't-
this. So just as a thinking about how these gangsters were treated, these guys were, bank robbers, they were murderers, all of this shit, and how they were treated back then. Tell me this isn't the same society that there is today, except for we got cell phones now. As Dillinger lay dying, they're talking about his last words. As Dillinger lay dying on the pavement, onlookers reportedly dipped handkerchiefs into his blood for souvenirs.
Yeah.
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 Human's gonna human.
And what was he was coming out of a movie theater. He was going to see a movie, I think. But yeah, I had heard that, like, yeah, they were cheering him on, man. There was people that he was like a folk hero to.
Absolutely amazing.
Was not robbing the rich and giving to the poor at all.
Yeah, it says he was agents, or the agents did it. He exited a movie theater. He tried to flee. He was shot in the back, and it was ruled justifiable homicide. Like, fuck it.
Got him.
Policing was grade A.
Yep.
When you just shoot somebody in the back, and it was just like there was no body.
He was a criminal.
Investigating. It was like, fuck it. We shot him in the back, and what?
That was a good shoot, Mark.
It was easy. Once he was marked a criminal, it's a wrap. He's done. Foul over.
Well, he wasn't marked a criminal. He went to great lengths to make sure he would be known as a criminal.
Right, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying.
Labeled.
What's the criminal is written down. You could do whatever you want to that person.
I mean, he was a piece of shit. He deserved it. I mean, he killed quite a few people. He caught some bodies.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck criminals in general.
Fuck J. Edgar Hoover too. He also caught
no criminal heroes, bro. I don't have no criminal heroes. I can't think of any type of criminal that makes me want to be like, yeah, that was the homie though. Because the shit that they were doing is always gonna drown out any positive, to me anyway. If you just out here killing people for whatever reason, I can't imagine your politics or your pizzazz and charisma or anything like that just being like, yeah, I know he murdered 13 women, but that guy, he was a character. He was hilarious.
Free the homie.
But it's always so minuscule. Like when you start talking politics, like, listen, he got over 500 women addicted to coke to the point that they were giving blowjobs for crack. It's like, and because of the disputes involving the money coming in, over 200 people died in the last 5 years because of what he's distributing to the community. But every year he gives out turkeys to everybody in the hood on Thanksgiving. And I don't know if the turkey's worth it. I don't know.
Like, how many turkeys did you give out last year? You're like, I'm a garbage man.
Right. But I can tell you what, I didn't have to have anybody's child find out their mother is sucking dick for crack,
right?
Because of I'm delivering the garbage to the dump.
Yeah, people make excuses. We love them. And I think even with the mafia, the whole mafia thing is, and speaking of which, now is a good time to, we might want to start trying to get into some of that Sopranos activity we were talking about. But even with the mafia, they're so dismantled and a shell of what it once was. I think even that you can make the movies about and fucking do all that kind of stuff, because the way we see it now as a society, for the most part anyway, is that it doesn't really even exist anymore. It's a myth at this point. Everybody's been destroyed to such a level where nobody cares. We know the mystique is gone. We know they all snitch on each other, and the ones who don't snitch on each other, they all get killed or go to witness. You got infiltrated by cops or going to witness protection. All this, it's all done. Nobody cares. We can make a TV show. We can make a movie about the mafia. So romanticizing criminals, I think you just have to evolve socially to a certain place to where you can actually talk the shit you want to talk without having to answer for things that are currently happening in your society. Like Americans can make movies about heroes and gun violence without necessarily having to answer for gun violence as a whole. You just can't make a movie about a school shooting.
Or can you?
I don't think you could successfully make, like, you can't make a hero be in the building and say there's no good way. Those would be the two most difficult.
I can make it right now.
There's a school. There is a Christian movie
right now.
There is a Christian movie. I don't remember the name, but something happens where like somebody brings a bomb in with a bunch of kids and something where some miracle
That's
happens.
not a school shooting. That's a school bombing.
Look,
Ah,
you said it. You said it in 1950 Mississippi, and it's a black kid getting bullied by all of the white racist
shit.
kids, and you could light all their little asses up on the big screen, and
I would
Hollywood
watch
would
it.
absolutely get behind it.
I would watch it.
Of course, you just gotta put your finger up and test the winds of where culture is right now. Listen, I never thought there would be a Nat Turner movie in my lifetime. Never. Like, they're never gonna do a fucking movie on Nat Turner. Are you crazy? If you talk to 1990s Yakub, hey, they're gonna make a Nat Turner movie. They're gonna do it's a Nat Turner biopic. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here. It's not gonna happen. So I think we're ready. I think we're ready for
They made a
for
Jim
the black
Brown
school
too.
shooter. Jim Brown, huh?
Was it Jim Brown?
School shooter.
I forgot it. Who started the Civil War? What was his name? Was it John Brown? Jim Brown?
Oh, I don't know, dude.
Now, started the Civil War? I think
No.
the Civil War started, I think it was the firing on Fort Sumter, if I'm not mistaken.
No, but the gave it a spark. Something it has to be something Brown. The white dude who got a couple
No.
black people together.
Well, I don't know that he started it, but John Brown apparently was a lunatic. And he was
Yeah, but he gave the spark.
No,
though,
but I remember,
to cause the war. Like he's the reason
I
why.
don't remember if he caused it or not. I know he wanted to arm black people for an insurrection in the South. I know that that was his main aim, is like, slavery. He was like an extreme abolitionist.
Yeah, I love
I
the fact that he knew Frederick Douglass and he lived under his basement for a while. It's like a great buddy cop movie.
oh shit. Yes, we need to do the Frederick Douglass, John Brown buddy cop comedy. Oh shit! And give it that tenor.
The crazy white dude in the basement talking about the things the white man is doing to the black race, and you have just fucking Frederick Douglass trying to write his book.
It would be it's the Odd Couple.
Put Keith David in a long flowing wig. Let him be Frederick Douglass. We can get Charlie Sheen to be fucking John Brown. I want to see that buddy and you keep it. You're dealing with the shit of slavery, and they want to try to overthrow the South, but it's in that same goofy tone as a fucking buddy cop movie, but in that era. That is fucking great.
They go do missions together and shit.
They gotta do missions
together.
Is they're secretly doing these little surgical strikes. And you do it like Forrest Gump to be like, listen, I know you heard the Civil War started and ended this way, but actually there was two buddy cops doing strategic, calculated tactical strikes that helped weaken the Southern Army.
It's like a cross between the Odd Couple and the A-Team.
Well, with pantaloons.
Yeah, Keith David is like is Hannibal. And John Brown is Murdoch, bro. He's just a wild ass.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, dude. Charlie Sheen and Keith David might be the best casting you're gonna get. I don't think it gets better than that. And
Shut
Keith
up.
David
Shut
as,
up.
Yeah. That's kind of gangster. I'd watch it. I'd watch at least one season. And if it was written well, I'd watch more. But I'd watch at least one season.
We gotta shoot for the movies. Easy in, easy out, because you gotta keep writing for shows.
Yeah, that's true, but you can milk them longer with TV shows.
That's the true. DVD sales, baby. That's where you milk them. That's where you milk them.
Does anybody use DVDs anymore? Do people actually buy DVDs?
Yes, because it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia.
Really?
People still buy records.
Oh well, that's like that's like hobbyist silly shit. That's not
so.
Like...
See, DVDs is the same thing.
There is a warmth that you don't get from CDs, but as far as the DVDs, yeah, man, I went and bought all that shit on DVD. I got tired. I'm not relying on streaming services. They started editing shit. Once they censored the Super Friends episode of South Park and the Muhammad in the the bear suit, I was like, nah, I gotta own this shit.
There you go. See,
And,
that's only one Yakubian. Just imagine.
yeah, and I think they censored 2 of the Boondocks too. And I was like, man, fuck this. And I bought them shits on DVD. I'm like, I don't trust these motherfuckers to not just censor this shit and wipe this shit out from existence. Like, I want to have the fucking Reverend Goodlove fucking BET episode from Boondocks. Like, I'm not gonna let you write that out of existence. I want to have the fucking Muhammad in the Super Friends with fucking Moses and Jesus from fucking South Park. I don't want them just because they will. They'll fucking rub that shit out of existence like it never happened.
Fuckers. Yeah, I know how that is because just recently I went to go back to Amazon to watch a bunch of those kung fu movies because they had like all the Shaw Brothers shit. They had a bunch of good stuff on Amazon, and now most of it's gone. And I'm sure it'll probably come back. I don't know how they lease this shit out. They keep it for
The
6
distribution,
months.
man, is tough. It will never like kung fu movies are so fucking hard to watch, and it's always because of distribution, the distribution rights.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. It goes back and forth, but I
Yeah,
would definitely own those. But I haven't owned anything that could play DVDs, and I don't even know how long. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even. Yeah.
that's
Where
what
would
the
you
Xboxes and
where would you
PlayStations
put
are for.
a
I
DVD
don't even
at?
think
No,
DVDs
don't do it.
exist.
Don't do it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because those machines have to keep shooting the ray or whatever to read it when you play a DVD.
Hmm.
For a game, it just uses the ray when it's reading to load something. So that laser, you overuse it and it makes your shit die faster. So I'd never recommend watching it in a gaming system.
Oh, okay,
Or
okay.
and plus, DVD players and Blu-ray players, they're cheap as fuck now. I remember when they were like $400 or $500 a piece. Like you could get a DVD player now for like $30.
Hit the Goodwill too. You'll find a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would only get it for really obscure dope shit that I know I couldn't find anywhere else. Now, I guess it'd be cool to have some tactile experience with it, but I would still really want the convenience of being able that the whole
Yeah.
Netflix style of browsing is very attractive to me. I wouldn't want like, and I guess that's what it's doing. You're just doing that in real life. You're just browsing a DVD rack. You're just scrolling to the right
Yeah.
on in your DVD rack.
It
to see
is,
what to
man.
watch.
It is. That's how they get you. I was popping into Mike Tyson's Mysteries. I'm like, fuck, I hate taking these DVDs out and putting them back in. Like,
Yo,
and
that
really,
show,
it's like
that show is
fucking
fucking hilarious.
lazy piece of shit. Yo, the Mike Tyson fucking Mysteries.
Oh my God,
is
Norm
probably
Macdonald,
one of the
R.I.P.
greatest.
R.I.P.
Oh my
Norm
gosh.
Macdonald. Oh.
And that shit was so slept on. I'm like, how does nobody know about how fucking delicious this
I
shit
went
is?
on a binge. There's a whole YouTube thing where it just clips everything, and then I went on a binge for like a week. I was dying. I'm like, how did I miss this?
Dude, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, dude, but it's Mike Tyson. It's a Scooby-Doo style show.
Yeah,
Mike
I
Tyson
haven't
is in
seen
charge.
it, but I heard of it.
Yeah,
Dude, he's got an
the greatest.
Asian daughter with no explanation of how he's got an Asian daughter, a talking pigeon, and a gay ghost. And they just go and solve mysteries. It's great. Just the premise
And
alone.
his brother is Neil. His brother is Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's like a shame of him.
Wait, is this actually is it actually Mike Tyson's voice?
Yeah, it's Mike
Yes.
Tyson. Mike Tyson did it. He did it.
It's great. And this is why too, like everybody, like if I was a multi-millionaire, I would send Mike Tyson $1 million just because. Like, dude, I love your redemption arc. I'm sorry Don King fucking robbed you. Like, you deserve this money. It's just one of the greatest heavyweight fighters of all time.
Yeah.
And plus, as bad as the shit that you went through, you know, at the end of it, like, yo, you became a real lovable, affable,
Right,
like, not apologetic, because I don't want to say it like that way. Like, he's apologizing, because that means something so different in this culture, because all of these apologies are phony. He didn't say, I'm going to say what I need to say so I can get back into the public graces. He was like, nah, I really need to change and evolve as a human being. And the person that he's become is like just amazing. Because to be able to like, you're one of the most deadliest human beings with your hands that's ever walked the earth. And to get to a place where you're like, yeah, I can crack jokes on myself and I'm going to do this corny cartoon. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, they're going to have a dude that imitates Mike Tyson, right? Like, there's no way Mike Tyson would really be making these jokes, right? Nah, dude, it's totally him. It's fucking great.
Yeah, I need to check it out. It's definitely one of the best redemption arcs of our lifetime, hands down for sure. Dude's done some amazing shit. I'm gonna have to check it out. Hopefully, is it on? I see it was on Adult Swim or something, so it might be on. I know HBO, the HBO streaming service has a bunch of shit from Adult Swim on it. I've been watching Steve Brule.
Oh yeah, another classic.
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I love that shit. I watched some other shit called Super Jail too. That was kind of gangster. They got a bunch of wild shit. My sons like Squidbillies. They were watching. They were bugging out watching Squidbillies. But yeah, that's the model, bro.
Truck.
They did some amazing shit in Adult Swim. So many different. I mean, I guess a lot of it had the same kind of vibe to it because it all felt indie. None of it felt like the super irreverent kind of style. But they did a great job making some classic shit that you at a glance you wouldn't think, like, if you just showed somebody who didn't know about it a couple still shots of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, nobody would think that shit lasted like 15 seasons or some shit like that.
Yeah, let me tell you why I'm a piece of shit. I think it was 11 total, and they kept changing the name because I just pre-ordered the complete collection box set.
Wow.
That I'm like, yo, Aqua Teen Hunger Force was definitely it's definitely the thing that gets me the most excited about the prospect of making a cartoon. Like that was one of the most ingenious, low budget, strength of the writing and the voice acting, just genius moves, man. I think Space Goes Coast to Coast is where they first started experimenting with that, like, minimal.
Yes.
We're gonna recycle these clips and use minimal animation, to make a show. And it was really just clever editing, man. Like, it was just ingenious, and it was all it's just super hip hop to me, man.
Yeah.
It's like bare bones, barely anything. I'm just gonna, flip it around a little bit and make it something that's totally different and infinitely more entertaining than the original.
Yeah, that's just beautiful. I didn't see the bulk of it, because I was doing some wild shit at the time. But every little bit of it I've ever watched, you slip right into it immediately. Even if you miss 10 episodes, you hop into an episode and you're like, these motherfuckers are crazy, instantly. They're psychos, bro. I love it. That's the model. I've been watching a lot of that shit and cramming a bunch of information about After Effects and Premiere, trying to learn as much as I can about this shit and start attacking this because it's time. It's just absolutely time. I see what's available and what's being done, and the fact that it's worlds easier now than it even was for those people who were making it back then. It's gotten even easier, closer to the consumer level rather than the high production level. So it's a lot we can do with very little effort right now. And it only gets better, you put in a little bit at first, you get a couple little shorts and shit done, and then it just evolves and you get better over time. You can make more filled out material and shit like that. But if they can get away with Aqua Teen Hunger Force with clever writing, good editing, and that style of animation, like that, like you said, bare bones, if you can get away with that for 11 years, listen, yeah. We got some serious work to do, but I'm excited. I'm fucking excited.
Yeah, man. I quote and if you've never seen Aqua Teen Hunger Force, just look up an episode. I'm sure you could BitTorrent it. It's out there. Hand Banana. Just watch the Hand Banana episode, just to give you an idea about the flavor and energy of that show.
I do not co-sign
Hand Banana
no
episode?
not Hand Banana, just torrents and the downloading of random shit these days. I would say get a 7-day free trial of HBO and watch the Adult Swim section on HBO, and you can
torrents these days is raw dog and a prostitute.
There you go. Here in my defense,
and slow too.
Yeah.
Slow strokes.
I never mess with those. So I didn't know. Like, I always just go buy the DVD or stream it. So I was trying to make it. I wouldn't know where to go to get that stuff anyway. So I apologize.
It's
You,
okay.
you
Some of us
yeah.
still use the torrents, but my
I don't
PC is
fuck with
fully HIV. But I don't. I
my,
don't
my computer
full
is
blown,
AIDS.
Full blown.
full blown. But
Full blown
I
AIDS.
don't do any bank transactions or none of that stupid stuff people do
Oh,
after
so
they
you
have.
know Martin Shkreli? Remember that guy?
He's coming
Yeah.
out, isn't he?
Oh,
No, he's already out.
I think it's already released. Yeah.
He's
Okay,
already
okay.
out, and he started his own crypto company.
Uh-oh.
So him and a bunch of other people and lawyers, and he's been doing this whole crypto launch thing for the past like month or so, and he just got his crypto wallet hacked and lost $400,000 overnight because he downloaded a torrent, and somebody basically seeded the torrent on purpose. Somebody knew that he was, from what the story he told, somebody knew what he was doing. Like you just said, download, go get a bit torrent of this movie or this episode. So somebody would hear this broadcast, go wrap a worm that seeks out your MetaMask or whatever into the hand banana episode, and just odds are, let's see which one he clicks, and he downloaded the wrong one and got served up. Lost somebody got him for 400 grand in overnight.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, because this is Martin Shkreli we're talking about, so that could have just been him stealing out of his own back pocket.
But you saying worm reminded me of another great episode, the Bronx Parasite Diet, where Carl loses weight by just ingesting parasites.
God, dude. This whole show, the whole show, everything about it, no matter where you go, you just randomly pick an episode, and it's going to be some of the most absurd shit you ever saw in your life. It's ridiculous. I don't know how they kept it up for so long, and to keep it and have the characters act in such a way that no matter how much ridiculous shit they do, it's just like that person or just like that character. They got it figured out deep enough to where they know exactly what they would all do. It's just it's good shit. It's good shit.
And no continuity, there's a little tiny bit, but it's more like callbacks than continuity, because you can't make a lot of the shit make sense. But they had a great formula in having Frylock as the straight man, like Shake is just the absurd, over the top one, and then Meatball with a little bit, and then Carl. Like they just the central characters, they had a great, and they're like, listen, we'll just write shit around it and give these ridiculous characters excuses to say some funny shit. So just what's the most ridiculous? And they got to do, like some of the shit that we talk about, some of the ideas that we put out there. At first, like, oh, that's a little extreme, and I don't know how people. They had an episode where they made the dude Dr. Wong made a spaceship out of dicks. The dick ship. That was his master plan. I got to get all these dicks to make the dick ship. Yeah, that's the plot. Why can't he? Why can't he just make a regular spaceship if his goal is to get to space? No. It has to be made out of dick. I don't think you understand. And we're not going to explain it, but it's just an excuse to have a dude that's making a ship out of dicks. And then let's just have our characters get to say some goofy, funny shit around this. I mean, it was a great formula to come up with. And I think it went like 11 seasons. I mean, it just took them dudes. They had access to they had a good weed connect. Yeah, that's what it was. They had a good weed connect.
Is what's impressive. The execution is impressive, because I totally get how you come up with this shit, but how you become a closer and write it all down and act out the voices and put the episode together. Yeah. And there's nowhere along this line where you say, maybe this dick shit is stupid.
You gotta believe it.
Right. You stay in the pocket and you get it done. That's what's the most impressive to me. Yeah, we're gonna have it's a thing. It's French fries, it's a shake, and a raw meatball, and they talk to each other. They talk shit. They got this neighbor who's just human, and it's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's do this shit. And you don't talk yourself out of it, and you keep it around long enough to do 11 seasons. That's beautiful to me. That's beautiful to me. The fact that you could come up with that kind of ridiculous idea and turn it into something life-changing And I'm sure it was life changing because for it to be a cult classic the way it is now, I'm sure they've enriched themselves pretty well off of the development of that show. So that's amazing, dude. That's absolutely amazing. And I feel like we could do that with. I feel like we could do that with any three of the characters and situational things that we have. Not to mention the whole well that's waiting. I'm Lusty Burger logo is up next. I'm making a Lusty Burger logo and I'm in the interior of a restaurant. We got to get the Lusty Burger interior. Cat Scraps is gonna be easy, but Lusty Burger's got to be the first one.
Cat Scrap sushi.
Yeah, I love it. It makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. But yeah, Lusty Burger's first because Lusty Burger's got a story to tell. It's a story about humanity. And becoming jaded with trying to fix the world and save the world. Which is when the nutritionist goes rogue and opens a restaurant called Lusty Burger. Just says fuck it. He was a fundamentalist Christian and a nutritionist, and nobody wanted to listen to his speeches about abstinence and eating vegetables. So he said, fuck it, I'm gonna make a sex burger shop. And he became a multimillionaire. So fuck it. And that's the kind of energy you need to succeed in life. Sex burgers. See it through. It's gonna sound like a stupid idea. Sometimes it's gonna be like, you know what, this is dumb. But you gotta say, fuck it, bro. Stick to it, write it, cut it, print it, and open your bank account so everything can just fall in while you're sleeping. Passive income. That's
Well, I have a couple of bank accounts because you're going to get so much money, the FDIC is not going to be able to protect it all.
Right, that's true. That's true. Make sure they're going through your trust of your 508c13. Hopefully you're already an ordained minister and your cult is registered. Like, there's a way to funnel this shit all through. Do it right. They created the structure for a reason. Do it right. Do it right.
They're not making any more land. Get the compound. Get the dome houses.
Hempcrete dome houses. And that's what we're doing anyway. That's just up for suggestion. You make your dome houses out of whatever you want. But Hempcrete dome houses might be a good idea.
If you want to make it with immigrant children's tears, I mean, that's on you. I mean, everybody's different, but
you got to mix the crete with something.
Suffering sauce.
We want cruelty-free hemp concrete. That's all we're saying.
But our suffering sauce brand is definitely full of cruelty.
That's different. That's totally. We do the exact opposite with the suffering sauce. When you put some lemon pepper death rattle on your chicken.
Lemon pepper death rattle. I was trying to think. I was like, what was the lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper death rattle on your chicken. But you're gonna know. You're gonna know. I love it. But yo, man, I'm gonna wrap it up and grab me some grub and a cup of tea and smoke some nice herbs. And I appreciate you brothers for making some time tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm sure we'll be linking up again soon.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Of course.
Absolutely, man. Y'all brothers take it easy, man. I'll check you later.
Dude, be safe.
Peace.
Peace.
Unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.